Hello, everyone. I'm running this tad bit behind. Just give me a minute. Trying to get everything set up. Uh, I was doing some things on the computer on my phone. I'll have it all ready here in just a few minutes, and then I'll get people invited to come up. Uh, go ahead and get the. What's going on? There it is. So, like I said, there's that. If anybody wants to come up, come on up. Uh, I'm expecting a visitor today. I talked to Big Ed McDaddy himself yesterday. He's doing well. He said he was going to try to make it in tonight, so we'll see if he does. So we'll soon know. Anybody else that wants to come up, come on up. Just give me a minute and I'll be there. See what happens when you get in a hurry, people. Hey, Mike. Hey, Jerry. Like I said, I talked to Big Ed yesterday for a while. He said his surgery went quite well. And get that turned down before I go into it. There we go. It's pinned at the top, so anybody wants to come in. Hey, ABCM, how you doing? We appreciate you sharing it. Let me get my earphones in. I know I don't need them because nobody's talking, just me. Julianne, how you doing? Long time. Been enjoying your paintings, but I usually run behind. Takes a little while to get to them. Hello, Laurice. How you doing? Uh, like I said earlier, I had talked to uh, Edward D. Beck yesterday, or a lot of you know him as Big Mac Daddy, and his eye surgery went very well on Wednesday. He is actually went ahead and scheduled his second surgery. If he comes up, he's talking about coming up later. If he comes up, I'll let him tell you all about it. So we'll see what goes on. But he was doing very well yesterday. Hey, Rona, how you doing? Thank you for coming. And so anyway, I'm hoping to hear from him and see what goes on here. So I'm just, Jerry, I'm figuring you'd be up. But it's up to you guys. You don't have to come up. You know me, though. I do like having visitors. Today was a little cool, but it was a gorgeous day as far as this time of year. I mean, it was only in the 60s. And the last couple of days were in the 70s, so it's a little cool. But compared to what it had been a couple of weeks ago, I'll take it. Thank you, Rowan. Thank ABCM for causing the raid. I appreciate it. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a chat for a while, so welcome. You're probably rating from ABCM, but that's fine. If you all give me a thumbs up and stay for a few minutes, it helps. But if you don't, that's all right. Uh, we're just trying to get through another Saturday. I on Saturdays I usually sleep in, which I did today. For me, sleeping in is getting up after anymore. Now getting up after 4 o'clock. So I got up later than that, though. Used to be, but uh, like I said, I did talk to Big Mac Daddy. So our prayers did work. He had a successful eye surgery on Wednesday, and so he's doing better. He's already scheduled his next surgery. He had his left eye done this time. His right eye is going to be done in June. The exact date, I think I know, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not positive. He told me. But so it's coming up, so we'll need to keep praying. So he'll have the second successful eye surgery, and so everything hopefully goes well. In case you're wondering, yeah, I did cut my hair again. I keep it down short, as you can see. The top is so thin, it just doesn't make sense to grow it out anymore. It just looks like it's I don't know what it looks like. An unkept bear rug or something. It just doesn't look that good on top. The side's got plenty of hair. I got loads of hair on the side. Jerry's coming up, people. Hello, Jerry. How you doing, sir?
Okay, here on a hot, humid, hazy Saturday.
I'm sorry to hear parts of Texas had tornadoes. Yeah, this it's almost the end of tornado season, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Not sure when the tornado season is, but that's tornado alley up there, and then in the Houston area, lots of flooding over there.
Yeah.
Seen like about 2 or 3 feet of rain in a week's time frame.
Yeah, I understand. I know there was a lot of flooding. I saw that on the news. Hey, Mike, I do save money, but I do it myself. I cut my own hair. If it's going to be short like this, I do it myself. I got the clippers, but I mean, like I said, if I was going to grow it long, then I have to go to a barber. I was a barber in the Navy, but couldn't cut my own hair if I was going to have it longer. But to cut it the way I wear it right now, it's not a problem. So as I've always done my own beard, so it's right now actually the hair on top is so much lighter, the harder to see because it's a lighter color than the white. It's about the same length as my goatee or my chin whiskers, but as you can hardly see it because it's a different color. And Mike, there is still a tornado season. Tornado season is when most happen. They've always been able to happen any time of the year, but there is a certain time frame, and I believe it starts in March, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I lived in Tornado Alley, but it starts around March, and it goes through about May, and that's when you get your most. And then after that, they're a little more rare, but you can get tornadoes just like you can get thunderstorms or anything else. And I don't, Mike. I don't. I have longer hair on my chest, but not my back. But yeah, Mike says he's got longer hair on his back than what I have on the top of my head. We would call it, when I was in the Navy, we had a guy, something like that, we called him carpetback.
See.
Hey, Eileen, how you doing? Welcome. And then we had another guy it was carpet chest. I mean, oh my goodness. You couldn't see any skin through the hair he had. He had black hair and you could not see skin. It was that thick.
And, I remember a coach in high school like that. hairy arms, chest, back, legs.
Well, like I said, my arms they're hairy, but they're not as hairy as some people's.
It was like a werewolf
Yeah.
kind of a.
Oh yeah, like I said, we had one guy that his chest is that way, and another guy his back was that way. It was just real, you know. They did. I don't think either one had both. I think they both had one or the other.
Yeah, and the coach in high school had everything: legs, arms, back, chest.
Now, like I said, mine are hairy, but it's not like thick hair, you know, where you can't see the skin.
Yeah.
And plus, the hair on my arms and legs are so light that it's hard to see. It's like a blonde. Like I said, my white beard is darker than the hair on my arms and legs are on my head. The beard's, even though it's white, it's still more visible. Even though the hair on the side of my head is the same length, you just don't really see it because of the color. That could be having a hairy butt could be a pain. Yeah.
Yep.
Big Mac Daddy just came into the house. Now, Mac Daddy, come on up if you like. I told you could if you want. So well, you know how to do it. It's right there at the top. So if you want to come on up, and just if you don't, just talk to people in the chat. Like I said, his surgery went well, so we're very glad to hear that. And he said it went a lot better than they were thinking it was going to go.
Yeah.
And he said it was like I said, I talked to him yesterday for about a half hour or so. Right around I talked to him till my lunch arrived. Not my lunch, my supper. And then I had to stop and eat. But so we were very happy to hear how well his surgery went. I was going to wait and call him till today, give him more time to recoup. But he tried to call me while I was at work, and I couldn't get back with him. So I called him when I got home and got everything situated, and then talked with him. And like I said, we talked about a half hour. It might have been a little longer, but I think it was right around a half hour. And the last time, the time before his surgery, we talked for about an hour. And so it was good to hear from him. And so, hey, Tim, how you doing? And Tim, Mac Daddy's in the house. His surgery was successful. So we're happy for that. And like I said, he's got the second surgery already scheduled. I'll let him, if he wants to drop the date. Like I said, it's in June, but I don't remember the exact date. I think I do, but I don't want to give the wrong date. And I got 2 dates in mind, and one for one thing and one for another, I believe. And Mike wants to know how much that oyster weighs there, Jerry. Hey, lady.
What oyster?
Hey, how you doing?
What oyster?
All I know, he says, how much does that rooster weigh?
Oh, the rooster. I heard oyster.
No, rooster.
That one that just passed by earlier, I don't know, probably 5 pounds. The one that's way over yonder, and probably no more than 7.
Well, that's good. So now it's staying lighter, a lot later for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
and Mike says the big one.
Yeah, it's getting. I guess it gets dark, like about 8:30.
Yeah, I'm gonna say here it gets a little bit darker, a little bit sooner, but it doesn't start to about 8. So, like I said, it's a little sooner, but not a lot sooner.
Yeah, no, come June, July, it'll be 13 hours.
It'll be around 9 o'clock or later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I was in Indiana, it was that way too. Because, especially when we were Eastern, because we were at the tail end of Eastern, so it would be sometimes almost 10 o'clock on my side of the state. And
10 p.m. and it was still light?
Yeah, it didn't start getting dark till about 9:30.
Jeez.
Now that was in late summer.
I'm already asleep by
July,
then.
yeah. And then it would start getting darker sooner. But like I said, that's back when we didn't change our clocks. And it's probably still the same way now because they've gone Eastern. Hey, Shane, how you doing? Welcome, man. Good to have you here. And so, yeah, Shane and a couple of the others came in a little later. Remember, I requested prayer for Edward Beck last week, Mac Daddy. Well, the prayers were answered. His surgery was successful. And he says it went a lot better than what they were telling him they thought it would go. And so hopefully it stays that way. He's already scheduled his second eye surgery. Like I said, it's going to be in June. But the exact day, I want to say the 6th, but it could be the 5th. So I don't want to say for sure. I'll find out definitely before then. Mac Daddy may not be feeling comfortable enough to come up today, which is fine. He doesn't have to. He does he should do what makes him feel comfortable right now. He should not be pressured to do anything, but I'm glad he showed up, said hi to everybody. He's still in the chat, so if anybody wants to say hi to him, go ahead and say hi. Hey, girlie, how you doing? Thank you for coming. And so, yeah, ABCM channel's got a lot of them coming in. And Mike says your big rooster is a good-looking rooster there, Jerry.
Yeah, and when it was a little chick, I thought it was hoping it was gonna be a hen.
Yeah.
So I named them Blanca because it was all white.
Okay. He's
But it
changed colors too then.
Yeah, it got a yellowish color. But it was all white when it was a little chick.
Yeah. So you're just gonna stay home today, huh, Tim? Well, some days are like that. I that's pretty much what I did. I did get out and walk down and check my mail and stuff like that, but I didn't get in the car and go anywhere. I stayed completely in the apartment complex, but I did get out and walk a little bit just to get some. Hey, Pinky Gray, thank you for coming. Like I said, I got out and walked some just to stretch my legs and get out of the apartment. And then, like I said, I took the long way down, checked the mail, then I walked around a little bit, and then came back up. One thing was junk mail, and another one's something I've been expecting. I finally got it. It's I belong to AARP, and I finally got my new card. My old one was expiring this year, so I got my new one. And now it's good till if everything goes according to plan, I'll be in the Philippines before it expires. So I took it longer than what I needed to just to play safe, and it was a better deal. So I just said, well, it's not that much more to make sure, because it didn't expire till 29. And you all know I plan on being gone in 3 years. So I could have just did 3 years, but I went ahead and did the 5. It was a better deal. And this way, if something happens, it's seal covered. And if I,
hold on, Bill. I'm gonna leave the phone here. Let me do something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna. Let me just put it that way.
There you go. Now we can see the chicken, so that's a lot better. Gives us a view of something. So we appreciate it. But so Pinky, how you doing today? I hope you're doing well. And I need to get to your channel more often and probably even comment. And because everybody now, she used to do a lot of music videos, but she does what she does. She's very entertaining. I met Pinky through Dan. You all know Dan. And we appreciate you sharing it on your community, Pinky. I don't have community, people. I hit 800 subscribers. I dropped back down to 799. One of these days I may set up a community. I just don't think I'm big enough to do that. Kenneth at Kentucky Fam Live. How you doing, man? Welcome back. We appreciate it. And everybody, let me do this here real quick so you guys can It's a lot easier if you want. If you want to drop your own channel links, just type in LLL. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing before it. Nothing after it. Just type in 3 L's, whether they're capital or small, doesn't matter. That will drop your link. I'm going to do my Ninja channel right here to show you all what you got to do. Or you can do. It's just 3 L's. It doesn't matter if they're caps, smalls. It does not matter. You can, like I just did there, the mixture of the 3 should still do it. And for some reason, what's going on here? The one on my computer is slower than my phones. But anyway, like I said, just type in 3 L's, everybody, and it'll drop your links for you. And that's why I have the Nightbot. It's a Nightbot. It just like it makes it easy. Some people are like me. Live, love, and laugh. Well, those are 3 good L's now, Mike. I'm going to tell you, those are 3 very good L's. Better than my 3, if you want to know the truth. But I did it. I set up a Nightbot because I don't know how many people are like me. I don't know how to drop my own link. So I just don't do it. I don't care enough to learn because I don't go into other people's channels. But that's what my channel is about, is trying to help each other. But when I go into somebody else's channel, I'm there to support them. If they want to drop my link, they can. If they don't, that's fine. If they have a Nightbot, then I'll drop it once in a while. And so it's a wonder why I didn't do it the first time for you there, Ken. I should have done it with the 3 small L's. But oh well. Like I said, I really don't care if if I drop a link on somebody else's thing. It just never was my thing. But I know a lot of people like to know other people, and this way people can check you out. That's what I said. My channel is for fun. If I ever hit 1,000, that's fine. If I don't, that's fine. I really don't care. Mike, you were looking for it, buddy. But let me do this. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. But yeah, it's well, I don't know what the temperature is here. Let me see if I can find out real quick. '63 here. Oh no, let me do something else first. See what the Celsius is. And it's 18 degrees Celsius. So 63 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius is what it is here right now. And but like I said, it's already gotten dark here. It starts getting dark at 8. So what can one say? Yeah, I know. It's just facing one spot. But what can one? Hey, I wasn't looking, so I was talking. I wasn't looking at the camera, but gives you something to look at. But yeah, and anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day and a good weekend. I know it's Sunday there in the Philippines, and I know a lot of our Filipino guests are either getting ready for church or, well, I don't know. Depends on what time they start. The first, we got Mac Daddy coming up, everybody. So we got Mac Daddy in the house. Thank you, Mac.
Larry!
Hey, how you doing?
God, I've been better.
Well, I know. And Mike says his wife's going to New Zealand. All right, Mike. Is she just
They
going for
ran
a
they
vacation to
ran a
visit family or
lawnmower in
what?
my eye.
Huh?
They ran some kind of electric little lawnmower in my eye.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
I was awake the whole time,
Yeah, that's what you told me.
talking
And
to
Tim
the
says, welcome
doctor.
back, Mac.
Got my eyesight back though.
Yeah, that's what you told me. Mac Daddy says, welcome back. I don't know if you're on your phone, so it might be hard to see the.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. My computer wouldn't go through.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I got all kinds of internet problems here.
Yeah. Well, last week, was it last week or the week before? I think might have been the week before. I had it up, but I had to be able to, for people to see me, I had to go in on my phone. I could talk, but nobody could. If I tried to turn my camera on, it shut my mic off, and the camera wouldn't come on the computer. And who was it that Robert was in here? Robert Simmons was in here, and he suggested to go into the settings. Well, I did a quick check on the settings, and I thought it wasn't that. And then the next day, I checked everything and double checked the settings. And somehow the settings on the camera was switched to a different camera, and that camera doesn't exist. And so I had to reset the camera. But it was working until I tried to go in. So it was on the live stream only that the camera setting was off. If I would just, like let's say I wanted to do a video on my computer, I could have done a video. But it wouldn't let me into the live stream with the camera because it was saying it was trying to use a different camera. And that's not it. And Mike wants to know how Mini Ed is. How's Junior?
He's sitting here trying to fix my technical difficulties.
Okay. Well, tell him hi from the chat.
Everybody in the chat says hi.
Hello.
And
you got to tell Jerry that's a nice henway. When he comes back.
Now Tim says just as long as they used their grass catcher and cleaned it up. Sound about the lawnmower.
Oh yeah, it's weird, man. They got this they slice your eyeball open up top. They start running this little machine in there. They clean out the cataract, then they slip in this clear table cover and unfold it, so to speak, this little tiny table cover, and then they super glue it all back together.
And like you said, it actually worked a lot better than what they were telling you. Because what they tell you, it was going to take about 2 weeks before.
They told me how much my eye was going to swell up because the cornea was so severe.
Yeah.
They said you're going to have swelling. It'll be 3 months before it'll be right. You're going to be going through hell. It's 3 days, man. It's almost back to normal.
That's what I was telling them. It went a lot better than what they thought. Now, which day is it in June that you're having your other eye done?
June 5th.
That's what I thought. See, the reason why I said there's a Belmont race is going to be held in Saratoga Springs in this area here where I live. It's a few miles from me, but in this area they're advertising, and it's they're going to start doing something on June 6th. So that's why I said I knew you were either the 5th and they were the 6th, and they were the 5th and you were the 6th, and it was just like, well, I couldn't remember the exact date, but I knew it was one of those 2 dates. You were either the 5th and they were the 6th. So like I said, we'll definitely keep praying so that the next eye goes as well.
Well, I'm on a Wednesday. They always operate on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what's going on. Is this is going to be the starting the celebration for the Belmont. The race will be on a Saturday or a Sunday. It won't be on a.
No, it's usually on a Saturday.
The Belmont, for some reason, they're running here in Saratoga because I think the Belmont is usually in New York City. I think.
Oh, is it
They're
Belmont
they're
Racetrack?
going to run it up here. It's one of the races in the Triple Crown.
And then you got the Preakness.
Yeah, the Preakness is the other one. The Belmont, though, I don't believe is actually in Syracuse usually.
You won't have a Triple Crown unless the same horse wins the Belmont.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
And the
it's part of
Preakness.
what they call the Triple Crown.
It's
You know,
part of the
same-
Triple
yeah.
Crown, but you never have a Triple Crown winner
Yeah, but I'm
unless the
saying there's
same
three
horse
races
wins
that
all
make up
three.
the Triple Crown.
It's been a while since we had a Triple Crown.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying there's three races. It's the Derby, the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, and the Preakness are the three races that make up the three legs of the Triple Crown. You have to win all three to win it.
They had a horse out of Philadelphia about 20 years ago called Smarty Jones.
Yeah.
It was quite popular.
Now, Mike says in a few months you may be able to drive. Well, actually, Mike, he can probably drive in a couple of weeks
Who?
if his eyes keeps healing up as quick as it is. Because
I'm ready to drive now. There's nothing to stop me from driving.
That's what I said. My younger brother was blind in one eye. I mean, and there was no surgery that would repair his eye. It was a physical damage that happened to his eye, and it blinded him in one eye, and so he could drive. You just have to be a little more careful. But
I don't have to be careful. I can see as good as I could.
No. But see, your peripheral is going to be different because you don't see out of the right eye. Yeah, because you don't see out of the right eye. So
well, I haven't seen out of the right eye in over 5 years.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though.
Then the left eye went out.
Yeah.
And so.
I'm just saying though. So yeah, you're used to doing one eye, but I'm just saying though, it does. You know, when you first lose them, if you lose them, like one, it takes a while to adjust. You can adjust. It's not, but just that's the way it is. I mean, you know.
I don't know. I'm good to go. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I left the operating room seeing.
Yeah.
That's how instantly your vision's restored.
Now, you want to give them an update on your legs?
My legs are, I don't have lymphedema anymore. They're not swelling up and breaking open. And so that's a good thing. But I don't have any leg muscle. I got to get all the muscle back. I can't walk right now. But the only reason why I can't walk is because in sitting still all these months while my legs were broke open trying to get them to heal and be better, I lost the ability to walk. Plus being blind, it made it impossible to see anything to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So in a couple of weeks, I expect to be back running around as my old self. But
well, it'll take a while to get all the leg muscle back. You won't get that. I'm not saying you won't be able to move around, but to truly get your leg muscles back, it takes a while.
Oh, my loins hurt. When I try and stand or walk up or do anything, move, stand up, sit in a chair and stand up a few times, my ass muscles hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And my back hurts and this hurts and that hurts. I need to get a stationary bike and do some riding and then get on a regular bike and do some riding.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, yeah. But you got to build back up to it. It's not something you're going to get to right away. Jerry's checking his eggs.
I can get up and walk, but it's difficult.
Yeah.
Jerry, is that a Henway?
These?
Is that a Henway?
Talking about these?
No, a Henway.
Not sure which you're talking about. Ed?
Are you talking about how much the hen weighs, or are you talking about a type of bird?
Oh, a hen weighs about 3 or 4 pounds.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were going to kind of joke.
Yeah, that's maybe 5, but they're not that heavy. Yeah, they're not that heavy.
Oh, God.
All right, Mike, you take care. Mike's this. Nice
Jerry, they sell the fancy hens up here. The Polish chicken.
So,
yeah.
My aunt had a farm breeding all kinds of rare special breeds of chickens.
Yeah.
And she sold a lot of them, made quite a bit of money with these rare breeds, but it didn't take up that much space, surprisingly, to breed chickens like that.
All right, we got Robert Simmons coming up. Hey, Robert, how you doing, boss?
What's up, Robert?
What's up, Triple L?
Not bad, not bad. You were correct. It was the settings in the you listen to me live the
The
yard
nodes?
stream. It somehow got the camera settings changed on me.
Hey, slow down, guys. You're all talking at the same time.
I didn't even get to tell me how to eye abrasion.
Sammy, how you doing, Sammy?
I just got everybody else flowing around.
How you doing, Mac Daddy?
Can't step on people. Mike just came in the door.
All right, no background noise.
Mac Daddy, Robert said hi.
Hi, Robert. So I'm glad to be back anyhow, folks.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
It's been so tough.
Oh yeah, it would be. I know sitting around not doing anything, not being able to watch my TV. I mean, not being able to do anything would drive me nuts.
How you doing, Larry?
Not bad, not bad. Like I said, I took an easy day today. I didn't leave the apartment complex. I did leave the apartment. I got out and walked around the apartment complex a little bit today. Checked my mail. That's it. The rest of the time, I just sat in the apartment. I usually take one day of my 3 days off and not do much. So it seems like this weekend, it's today. Last weekend, it was Sunday. So but tomorrow's going to rain. It's supposed to rain, and I'll probably get out and do more tomorrow. But so yeah, everything's going well. Robert dropped off. Well, he not dropped off. He just dropped down. He's on mute. Says Tim. Tim MacDaddy. Tim said he liked your joke, and he said we can all benefit from the wisdom of MacDaddy.
I was trying to get Robert or Jerry to say, "What's a hen weigh?" And I'd be like, 3 or 4 pounds.
Larice is back. Hello, Larice. Yep. How you doing? But, yeah.
Tractor Supply though near me carries the Polish chickens all the time.
Yeah, for like $1.
Okay.
The ones that look like they have like a fancy head of hair and stuff.
Okay.
They're like $5 or $6 for a little chick. The regular chicks are like $1 a piece.
There was they don't vlog anymore, but there was a vlogger who was a fill-in couple. He was retired, I want to say Army, and then after he retired from the service,
I'm
Jerry
back.
dropped out. And after
Sorry.
he retired from the service, he took a government job for the Army, working in Japan, and then they started building a home in Philippines, which is in the area she was from, and they were raising chickens. I think he had a couple that were like French chickens.
Where was that at, Larry?
I can't remember. He was, I want to say he was on the island of Leyte, but I could be wrong.
Leyte?
Yeah.
The Philippines,
Really?
they have a lot of Kavir chickens.
But,
They got a lot of everything there, Big Daddy.
but what I'm saying is, though, they were, they built this nice house. They had 2 kids. And he showed the construction of the house, and they started before they moved over. And I caught up with them before they moved over. I mean, I found the channel and started watching it. This is a few years back. And then he just quit vlogging, which happens. I found followed a couple vloggers, and after there was a guy, I can't remember Rona. There was a guy in Valencia area that was married to a Filipino, and they were building a house.
Valencia.
The house was built, and they threw the party for the completion of the house. That was the last video. There was no more videos. So he showed what he wanted to show. Back Daddy dropped off. I don't know what's going on. But once they showed the house being completed and the party that they threw for the workers, they just quit. They just quit vlogging. And so some people do that. They got certain stuff they want to show, and maybe it's for their family, and other people find it. Yeah, Tim, I was in Dan's live stream, which was Friday morning here, and when it hit, he was live streaming, and I could see his curtains moving, and he could feel it, and he said, "Oh wow, an earthquake!" And it was 6 something, if I remember right, and I'm sorry to hear that, Sammy. Well, hopefully they get the electricity back on at least. So your fans and stuff, because I hear it's very hot there, so at least your fans can work. And I'm glad you came in. So, I'm just real happy you showed up. Like I said, I don't get to see you guys that often. Like I said, that's the first live stream of Dan's I've caught in a very long time because he switched to mornings and Mac Daddy's back.
I got thrown out.
Huh? I didn't throw you out.
No, I didn't say you did, but something happened. We've been having a lot of internet problems here lately.
Sammy says she
Embarrass you.
has no Wi-Fi and no electricity, so she's probably using her data.
Hey,
She says it's a brownout, that's scheduled brownout, 6 a.m. 6 p.m. So
yeah, I think she's in the brownout, Larry.
Yeah, she's in a brownout. She just said that. So, the nice thing about being in a brownout during the daytime in the Philippines, where she lives, she's always got the ocean to go swimming and cool off that way if she needs to cool off. I hate to have anybody have to not have any electricity, but if you're close to the ocean, you can at least go to the ocean and find some shade and cool off that way.
Well, it's the Philippines, Larry. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, I know. Hey, like I plan on going to Cebu. Now, you know what I'm going to do during brownouts? I'm going to the mall. They have those big generators, so their air conditioners are.
Can I ask you a personal question, Larry?
Sure, go ahead.
Why'd you pick Cebu?
Well, a couple of reasons. I don't want something too large, and I don't want something too small. It's got a lot of
Larry's Goldilocks, just right.
Well, I don't know. It's a good place to start off, I think. It's got a lot of amenities that the expats were used to. We just lost Robert for some reason. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of westernized and niceties there. And when you first get there, you got to adjust to the culture difference. So I don't want too large of a culture difference. But that doesn't mean that's where I'm going to stay. That's where I want to start. And if I really like it, that's where I'll stay. But if not, I want to be able to go check places like Iloilo, places like maybe Dumaguete or Ormoc, which is where the earthquake was at that happened. Davao, maybe. And maybe just outside of Manila area. There's, but I figure Cebu's kind of centrally located in a lot of ways. They got a good airport. They got good hospitals. So I could spend, the first month or two and not do anything but stay there. And this is my original plan. That didn't mean it won't change. And so I can get adjusted somewhat. And then, because let's be honest about it. It's like any new place. When I moved here where I'm at now, all right, and I was up around Rochester and I moved down by Albany. I loved it, but there was that euphoria of something new for me. I mean, that's the kind of person I am. I really enjoy something new, but I knew that was going on, and I knew it was all right, and so I had to give myself some time. Palama.
Well, Bohol Island, not Bohol, but Cebu has the ocean jet too. You can take everywhere.
Yeah, like I said, they got the airport, they got the ocean jets. So So I think it's a little more centrally located than Dumaguete or Iloilo. I mean, yeah, Manila. I mean, if you want to live in Manila itself, then it's even better in some ways. But I don't want to live in Manila. Maybe outside of it, but I just figure I want somewhere that I know that I have all the amenities that I need, all the necessary, the good hospitals, transportation, ability to get around without having to drive. I don't want to have to drive, not when I first get there. So all that is available.
Never have to drive.
Huh?
I said you should never have to drive.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. In Cebu, I would never have to drive. There's some areas you would have to either drive or pay a lot of money to get around. In Cebu, in certain areas I'll be able to walk to things. I won't even have to take transportation if I get the right place. You take where Dan was staying in Cebu. He was close enough to walk to a mall, close enough to walk to a coffee shop and stuff. That's what I want. I want something like that where I'm close enough to walk some things. And then if I want to go somewhere else different, I can take a cab or Grab. I'll probably get the Grab app and then take Grabs. Like I said, until I decide where I really want to live. But I may sign a lease for a year. I know a lot of people say, oh, don't do that. You may hate it. I don't plan on staying there the whole year. I plan on, like I said, if I don't like it, I plan on going to Iloilo for a little bit. But then I can come back to my place in Cebu, then save up and go somewhere else for a little bit and check it out for a couple of weeks at a time. But I still have a place to go back to.
I think you're better off month to month myself.
Now, it costs you more. I may do a month to month. It depends on if I can find the right deal. But I'm willing to sign a year's lease for the first year if I can find the right location. Like I said, if I can find a place where I'm walking, I can walk to the mall. I can walk to a restaurant. I can walk to a coffee shop.
Like when I
and
go,
it's not too expensive, and the place is not too expensive, I would probably sign a 6 months at least.
yeah, but when you're going to pay for an apartment, I pay the same for a resort room with amenities.
Yeah, but you're going during the off season probably. I'm not.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm going in October.
Hey, Robert, that makes sense, man. I don't blame you for
season.
dropping. Robert says, "Sorry, Larry, I have water coming in my house."
Oh,
Well, he's down in Virginia. They've been getting a lot of rain down that way. And
yeah, I got the same weather you got. It's just rainy and cold here today.
we're supposed to get rain tomorrow. Today it was just cool. And then Thursday and Friday, Thursday was up mid to upper 70s. Yesterday was, I want to say, it got in the low 70s. Then today's in the low to mid 60s for the high, about mid 60s. So it was pleasant for this time of year. That's pleasant. But
Well, it's too warm where I'm at.
Huh?
We had 80 the other day.
Well, we got to about 78. We didn't quite make 80. We got to 78 the other day.
Yeah, well, we're
It's in the upper
79.
70s.
We're sitting on the doorstep at
And
80, and it's too warm too early.
Crystal Adventures here. So hello, Ann. Thank you for coming. And
My plan's been working out, though. I'll tell you that.
now, Jerry was here, but he might have left already. He said his Panay wanted to talk, so I think he's out of the chat already. He was here for a while, and but his Panay wanted to talk, so he dropped out to talk to her. And yes, it is good to see Mac Daddy. I agree. She just said it's good to see you, Mac Daddy.
Yes, I'm sorry. I can't read the chat on my phone. And I have my computer on, but I'm trying to stay away from it because I don't want to get the echo.
I got to let Sammy know. Sammy, I understand that if you have to drop out now, go ahead. I appreciate you coming. She says, can't stay too long, KU, Triple Air. There's no electricity here now. So our electricity's gone. And so I understand. I mean, you've got to do what you got to do, and you got to like I said, the nice thing about the Philippines for a lot of people, now not everybody, because not everybody lives close enough to go to the beach on a on a whim. I mean, some people live a couple hours from the beach, so it might be a little difficult for them to get there. But she lives right there at the beach.
My fiance lives within walking distance of the beach.
so does Sammy. Sammy can hop, skip, and jump, and she's in the ocean. All right. She's right there at the beach. I mean, she really is. I've seen her place, on her videos, and her dad and her repair fishing boats. That's what they do. And I've seen her videos where they were working on the boats. And so, like I said, you got to be close to the ocean to work on the fishing boats. You can't, you can't live a couple hours away and commute in every day. You got to live close to it. And that's what they do. She's a carpenter. She's a really good carpenter. I've seen some of her work.
Well, it's easy to be a carpenter to work on that wood in the Philippines because other than
she's built cabinets and other things too.
Well, once you work with wood, it's wood, but the wood in the Philippines is you got a lot of softwood to learn with. It's tropical wood.
But she's done
the
some
mahogany's kind of nice too that they have.
Yeah. But mahogany's not softwood, that's hardwood.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's not hardwood. It's hardwood, but it's not hardwood like we have here in New York and Pennsylvania.
No, but it's still considered a hardwood.
Oh, sure, but it's not like American oak or something.
No, it's not as hard as oak. I don't know if it'd be as hard as the redwoods either.
Or hickory or redwood's soft.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pine.
No, the redwoods aren't pine.
They're sequoia.
Yeah, the sequoia.
It's a type of cedar tree.
But they get very, very large. A pine tree would never get that large because its roots could never hold it.
Well, yeah, they don't get that big, but it's similar to pine. It's a sequoia.
Yeah. But they got pines so big. I mean, not pines. Sequoias so large that they've cut them out, and they're still living, and you can drive through them. Oh yeah, they got one where they got a road going right through one of the sequoias, and the tree's still alive.
They lost a lot of those trees though in the last 30 years.
All right, Crystal. We appreciate that. Go to ABCMs for now, and we'll talk to you later. Crystal says she came for the raid. ABCM raid is when another vlogger says, "Hey, go visit this person." He's got a live going on, so you leave their stream to come to the other person's stream, then you go back. It's called a raid.
Redwood trees survive forest fires very well, but the forest fires they've been having in California are too intense for them, and it's killing them.
Yeah.
Redwoods after a fire drop a lot of seeds and replant the forest, but since we don't let the forest burn every couple years, the forest fires are too hot and too intense when they do come through.
Yeah, we really do need to reforest our not just our country, but our country really needs to do some reforesting. All this farmland we got, if they're not farming it and don't plan on farming, you know how they used to, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they used to pay farmers not to farm. They should
They still do that. Well, they pay my cousin not to farm soybeans and he grows hay.
Yeah, it's one thing if they pay you not to farm one product and you can farm something else. But if they're paying you not to farm, why not just pay them to plant trees and pay them that way all the time so we have trees?
Because nobody leaves all that farmland just sit. They use it for something else.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an idea. Most people don't know it. There used to be so many chestnut trees all through the Appalachian mountain chain. The chestnuts were everywhere. The deer used to eat them. The settlers used to eat them. They used to cut them down and make barns and furniture. All the beans in ancient barns, not ancient, but like 150-year-old barns or 100-year-old barns are all chestnut trees.
Yeah, I
And
know. There was a
or if you ever look at antique furniture, you find a lot of tiger oak. You can't find tiger oak anymore in the woods. They cut it all down.
yeah. Well, like I said, I was watching. There was a YouTube special, and it was in the Appalachian Mountains, and they were showing how people took some of the trees, the big trees. We got Jack Hobson coming up. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man? They took some of the big trees and they made houses out of the trucks that they were cutting down. They were huge trees, and they turned them into houses and stuff like that. Some of them. It was kind of interesting. This is, like I said, this was in the Appalachian Mountains.
Well, they brought some ornamental chestnut in, and it gave our chestnut trees blight, and it wiped out all the chestnuts in the Appalachians. They're finally starting to get chestnut trees out of the Michigan area, and they're trying to bring some of the chestnuts back.
Okay.
But it's really messed up. Like where I live, they farm a lot of the trees here. Matter of fact, my property, when I sold it last year, they wanted to buy the cherry trees on my acre and a half. They wanted to give me $5,000 cash, but I would have had to give them 3 years rights to come get them, and that would have held up my sale. So I just sold my property.
Yeah,
I needed the money.
I understand. You got to do what you know what's best for you at the time. It's like I took my Social Security at 67.
Everybody does.
No, it was 66. Excuse me, 66.
Yeah.
But it would have been better if I could have waited till 70. But for me, financially, it was better to do it at 66. I wish I could have waited till 70. Now, I could have waited another year. It turned out because of the pandemic, because I worked so much overtime that first year, during that pandemic, that I could have waited a year. But when I signed up to take my Social Security, I didn't know that was going to happen. That was a couple of months later.
What would have been hard for me to sell the cherry trees on my property and then say to the guy buying my property, oh, and by the way, for the next 3 years, you got to look at them coming to cut possibly any cherry tree they want on your property.
Yeah, and he might have wanted the cherry trees. That might have been one of the reasons he wanted to buy the place.
Well, it could break the deal or affect the price. And I paid $4,500 for my property and sold it less than 2 years later for $12,000.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
That's a home run and a half.
Yeah, that's what you call a grand slam.
Well, so one guy called me up and told me it was worthless. And I laughed at him because I bought my piece of property for one reason only. I could afford it. And the second reason was it had electric, sewer, and water already on the property, not just to the property. Water in the street, electric going through it, and a sewer line running through it.
Yeah.
And the electric and the sewer would control where you could build on the property, but there was still enough room to put a house. And that would cost you $20,000 to bring those utilities to the property.
Yeah.
So the guy that bought it from me got a really good deal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'd do it too. But you got a good deal when you bought it.
I bought it off an 80-year-old man who believed the neighbors when they told him he couldn't sell it and they wouldn't give him anything for it.
Yeah.
Then he met me. Me and Junior went and sat down and drank a milkshake with him. I said, look, I'll give you everything you want and $500 more, and I'll pay you off in less than a year. If that's a good deal for you, I'll send you a check on the first. And he said, that'll do.
Yeah. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing. Just
Alright.
sitting here. I have a live stream going on right now, but there's nobody there, so I'm like, is this somebody going on today? Oh. So I checked yours on my phone.
I always do my live stream at 8 on Saturday. Here in the States, 8 o'clock Sunday morning in the Philippines. I can't say always. when the time changes, if we change again, I'll do it 7 o'clock here, 8 o'clock there, because I want to keep it the same time for the Philippines, because they're getting up, getting ready to go to church, feeding their family. So I want to keep it the same time for them, so it doesn't interrupt their morning routine. Me, it just means I get done eating a little quicker than I normally do, and I start my live stream a little quicker.
Oh, I want to apologize for all my crazy eye gestures and facial gestures tonight. I'm just getting over eye surgery, and I looked over and I'm like, I'm making the craziest faces I've ever made online.
Well, that's all right.
I'm testing out my new eyes, guys.
It's
a
better
bit
than me
much.
going do my live streams after I hit myself in the glasses right in the eye on a door over here somewhere.
Yeah.
As I was walking out, boom! Give myself a
I was
big
totally
shiner.
blind.
Well,
Totally blind for 6 months, and I just had cataract surgery. So they restored the eyesight in my left eye. It's amazing. But now I'm dealing with, like, I'm looking at the live stream. I see my eyes like looking up, looking down. And it's a little bit of surgery discomfort. Plus, I'm just getting used to using them again.
oh yeah. I mean, like you said, it's been a while since you've been able to see properly.
See it all, Larry.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Bad.
But I'm just saying, it's going to affect how you feel and what you're doing. But I know it's been a while since you've been in the chat.
My family was feeding me dinner. I couldn't see what was on the plate.
Oh,
I
boy.
don't know if I'd like that with my family.
Well, my family certainly don't cook as good as I do. My son's like, Dad, you got to make dinner again. It's real
Oh
soon.
no. My youngest sister is a hell of a cook. Now she doesn't eat certain kinds of meat, but she cooks it a lot because her husband does. She doesn't like pork, and I don't think she eats beef because it just doesn't. She's got I'm not sure what it is, but she's got something that just doesn't set well with her.
Well, I won't eat ground meat from the supermarket because they take the fat trimmings, steam them, bleed off the grease, grind them up, and then they regrind them with other meat trimmings and stuff and call that ground meat.
I buy that as lean as I can buy. This last time I was like,
I don't know what country that's in, but
That's in America, believe it or not.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
They call it
That's
pink
something
slime.
China would do.
It's finely textured lean meat. It was originally meant for pet food. So if you're buying anything less than like 97% lean or organic ground at your supermarket,
I buy 96. I buy
real
96. That's the strongest I can find is 96.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's basically the same. But I just do an easy one around it. I buy a piece of like roast and I just drop it through a little meat grinder that I bought at Harbor Freight for $40.
Yeah.
And my hamburger tastes like roast beef or steak, and anything you buy from the supermarket tastes like fat. Now, fat's nutritious, but it's not pure meat.
Yeah. But no, like I said, I buy as lean as I can buy.
Look it up on YouTube. They call it pink slime. It's like
You're talking about those stuff or the stuff for McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Well, that's white slime. They have that too. Chicken nuggets.
The nuggets are pink slime.
They got pureed chicken skin injected around the chicken nuggets. They call that white slime.
The chicken I've been buying here recently has been organic breast.
They got to be pretty good.
But I've been buying that. I've been trying to buy a little bit better.
I have a hard time buying decent chicken here where I'm at in Western PA.
Well, like I said, the grocery store I go to, when they have it, I buy the organic. You pay more, but
I like young, tender chicken that feels like cotton balls for chicken breasts. I like them soft and fluffy ones. And a lot of times, the only thing I can get here is them giant chicken breasts that are like from Missouri, and they're tough as anything.
Like I said, if you get the organic, they're not the giant ones. because the giant ones usually have growth hormones. to help
Yeah, I
them
buy
grow.
organic chicken at Aldi and get a good deal on it, but
Yeah.
I gotta buy
I get
whole
it.
chicken.
I get it at Market Bistro, which is Price Chopper's high end grocery store.
Yeah.
They got Price Chopper, Market 32, and then there's only one Market Bistro that I know of, and it's the highest end of theirs. But
There's a store.
hey, Monroe, how you doing, man? Life in North Carolina is here. That's Monroe. So welcome, Monroe. Thank you for coming. And
They have a store that they opened up in Eastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, and there's some in Delaware called Little. And it's a German chain. Boy, they really got good food. And inexpensive. It's all like not like a brand name. It's all off brand name stuff, but the food is really good.
yeah.
I
Oh,
like
by the
Rio
way,
Bravo when I was in Florida too, the Spanish store.
By the way, there, Mac Daddy, Tim says at least they were feeding you.
Yeah, well, they have to. The funny laugh about it is they couldn't do it here without me. I make all the money. Even
Yeah.
blind, I was still making the income doing what I do. My car got hit by UPS too that one week in the snow. That wasn't fun back in January.
Oh, by the way, Monroe, tell Mary Ann we all said hi. How's she adjusting to life in North Carolina? Monroe just got his wife over here within the last few months from Manila. And
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. Now, Monroe, was she your wife? No, she was your fiance when she came over, right? You got married here in the States.
I have to get married in the Philippines. I can't get married in the States.
Well, like I said, I'm not sure where I've. Whoa, we lost Ed again. But,
Can't get married in
I
the
found Monroe
States.
through-
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, getting married in the States and getting married in the Philippines, there are two different visas you seek to bring them over. And we got Mac. What happened, Mac Daddy?
I'm telling
Whoa.
you here.
Yeah. Yeah, you dropped out on your own and came back up on your own.
And I didn't touch anything. It just went out and came back.
Okay. But all right, that's good.
I don't have enough income to do what I need to do, so I can't do a K4 fiance visa.
Yeah. Like I said, Jack, it's easier to bring a wife over with less money than it is a fiance.
Well,
K1 visa is a fiance visa, and you have to have plenty of money in the bank so you can support her unless you have a sponsor back home.
But like I said, though, if you're married, it's easier to bring them over. Now, not quicker. I'm saying easier as far as finances go.
that's correct.
If you get
Big
married in
Mac-
the Philippines and you get a spousal visa, it's going to take longer to get her back to the U.S. than it is with a
Yes,
K1
yes, you're right.
visa.
You're right.
Yeah, they
Jack.
told me it's going to take 15 months.
He's
Oh,
dealing with an agency.
That's through boundless immigration. They tell me I have enough money and assets to bring her here on a fiance visa, but I couldn't afford to bring her children. There's 2 kids involved. So they say go the other way.
Kids as well.
Right. I need to be able to show 35,000 on the books, which isn't a lot of money, but I don't show that much. And they told me then get married and go the other way, and I can bring the whole family, but it's going to take 15 months, which works out better for me. I can wait the time because she has to deal with her mother, who's in declining health.
Like I said, I because I'm working, I'd be able to do it. If I wasn't working, I wouldn't have enough to bring the kids over either.
You might, Larry, because you don't have
I said
to
without
actually have
working. without working.
You don't know how it works.
Well,
Part
no,
of
what
it
I'm
is
saying is I'd have enough without working to bring her over. But you said you had to have 35,000. I don't have that without working.
well, yeah, but you didn't let me finish. You
All
interrupted
right,
me.
go ahead.
Part of it could be your assets, whether you
Well,
own like your car, your house. They can list
I
some of
don't
that
own a
for part.
house.
But you having a car?
Yeah,
Do you have any money in the bank?
very little.
Do you have any credit? You
Lots
have
of
enough.
credit.
You
Lots
got
of
enough.
credit.
There's
No,
other ways.
That's been
Oh,
my
I was
problem
you
trying to
can't
all
you
my
can't get them
lifetime.
to the U.S. on credit.
what,
No,
what was that?
I, I
the
am
funds
well
have to
set
be
on
there,
credit, believe me.
not sitting on
Yeah,
the
you
credit
can't.
card.
Well, but you can't bring them in on your credit. That's true. But you can buy things like gold with your credit and to put it in an account and just be making payments on your credit, but you now have enough in gold to establish that you have enough money to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm not communicating with anybody, and like I said, I'm not bringing anybody over here. I mean, to me, it's not worth it because I don't want to stay here. Hopefully, in 3 years, I'm gone. And so, if I bring them over, they're not going to be over here long enough to get citizenship or a green card.
Sure, they'll be.
Huh?
Sure, they would
No,
be.
it takes 5 years.
No, it doesn't.
3 years to get a green card and 5 years to get citizenship.
No, no, it does not. You're wrong.
Less.
You can get a green card much sooner than citizenship.
Yeah, you can get the green card, like I said, in 2 to 3 years,
No,
but citizenship's almost 5.
no, it's not 3 years to get a green card. You come
Well,
in.
It's pretty much
that
You
may
get a
not
green.
be
after
if
getting
you
married.
marry an American. That might. You're right. It might be quicker.
It's much
But
quicker.
I got a friend that got a green card, and it took her longer through marriage than if she did it on her own. Mac Daddy dropped out and came back up on his own again. But she was told by some people that, oh well, you're marrying an American, just go ahead and go that way. Now she was here during Tiananmen Square, if you all remember Tiananmen Square. So all the Chinese that were here from China during Tiananmen Square could legally stay and apply for a green card. That
Mhm.
was that happened because of Tiananmen Square. She was here for that, so she was entitled to a green card because she was here going to college. And somebody told her, "Oh, it'll be quicker, because you're going to marry this guy. You might as well just do it through your marriage." And she found out it actually would have been quicker because of her circumstances if she did it without it. And there was people trying to tell her, "Oh, you only married him to get a green card." It's like she had a green card. All she had to do was apply for it.
Well, a lot of times, if you come in on a student visa, you can get a work permit to go with that, and that is your green card. The green card's just a work permit.
No, green card.
It's a work permit.
A green card lets you work.
Well, it's a work permit. That's what I'm saying. Work
Yeah, a
permit.
green card is a work permit, but you get a student visa work permit is not a green card. It's not the same thing.
No, you can get. You didn't listen to what I said again. You get a student visa, and most of the time, you can get a green card to go with your student visa as a work permit. And you're shaking your head no, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, from what I understand, no, you get a work permit, not a green card.
You get both.
With a green card, you never have to leave. If you're on a student visa, when that student visa is up, you got to leave. Unless the people that are hiring you as
Again, you're wrong.
you.
You're confusing it with two different things.
Not according to the people I know.
Well,
Well, I've had many friends that are foreign, and another friend worked for the government, the state government out in Pennsylvania, but she had to get hired by them to get her green card. They had to sponsor her.
well, you can get that too. That's another way of doing it. There's so many different ways of doing it. It's confusing. If you see the immigration law book, it looks like a phone book.
Yeah, I believe that. And we're glad she's adjusted, Monroe. I think I said something about that, but he said I was correct. They got married over here.
You can
But
you
yeah,
can hire a maid from overseas in just a little work visa as a maid. You can
they
marry a
got
maid.
lawyers that all they do is immigration.
Loophole.
I mean, you can get there's lawyers, that's all they do. They do nothing but immigration law. That is a specialty. It is that, like Mac Daddy's saying, it is that can be that complicated that
Not that it's so complicated. There's just so many dispositions, as you
that's
might
what I
call
mean.
it,
You
and
got to know which one's
circumstances.
best and which, because you go in looking, you might look at a couple of things and think, well, I can't do this.
Like to bring my
And the
fiance
lawyer's going
in,
to know what one is best, and all the hoops that you got to jump through to get it done.
to bring my fiance in, it doesn't work as good for our situation unless she can get a green card and can work when she gets here. Because I can get her a job at the hospital, but the hospital will not hire her under the table.
Oh
Now,
no, I understand that.
my friend with the pizza place said that, well, she doesn't have a green card. I'll hire her to come in and wash dishes and do the prep and wait tables and stuff. So, but it doesn't pay the same. It don't have benefits and, things like that. There's just,
You don't get caught under the table and you just get deported.
No,
yeah, exactly.
no. You don't want that.
It won't.
No.
There's another one too. If I can't get her into the United States, it's much easier to bring her in on a regular visa into Canada. And then you walk across Derby Line, Vermont, where one side of the street's Canada, the other side's the USA. You walk into a hotel
Just
on the
don't get
US
caught.
on the US, yeah, don't get caught. Walk into a hotel on the US side, and at night you jump in a vehicle and take off. Now, welcome to America. But if you're caught, they're not going to let her back in for 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a whole lot better to jump through the hoops if you can.
Oh, exactly. And there's no need to rush it either way.
No. Like I said, with me, if everything keeps going right, I'll have everything but my cars paid off by the end of the year. Now, I may have to slow down and do some other things before that, but hopefully I don't. Then I got to start saving up so I can move to the Philippines. I'm not even saving for that yet. And now some of the assets I do have, such as my car, my furniture, I'll sell that to help pay for my plane tickets and stuff. My car should more than pay for my plane tickets. My car is only it's a 23. I just bought it brand new last year. Excuse me, 21. Why am I saying 23? Woo! What year did I buy that?
The 24s are out right now.
Yeah, I know. I bought it. It's a 21. Damn, it's almost 3 years old. I got it in August, and I bought it brand new. And I put down because my car was totaled, and the insurance had to pay the replacement cost of it. All right, what it would cost to replace it, and because of the chip shortage at that time, my car was worth a lot more than what I owed on it. And even after, because it was almost paid off, I had less than a year to pay it off. It was going to be paid off. After they paid it off, I still got over $9,000. I got almost 9,500 after they paid it off.
I just went round and round with UPS. They hit my car and put a dent and a scratch in the fender. And if you looked at my car, you'd think, oh, that's not too big of a dent or a scratch, and it wasn't too much damage. But they hit the rim and bent the front suspension. So it cost me about $3,000 to fix my car, and they wanted to total it.
Yeah.
And I had just spent
insurance won't cover that? UPS?
Well, UPS's insurance was covering it, and they wanted to total my car because on their books, my car is only worth like $3,700, and I have too much into my car to make it totaled at that. I would have bought it back and kept it.
Well, they said my car, when the first estimate given on my car was within a few $100s of totaling it. And so the insurance company told them, look, go in, tear it apart, and make sure, because that's just an estimate. And you're already within a couple $100 of what it would be if for us to total it. And so they went in, and then it was a few $100 over what it would be for the total. So like I said, my car was paid off. I still got about almost $9,500 after the car was paid off that I put down on the car I bought. Because, like I said, the cost of replacement, because when I went and looked at cars, I was thinking about buying a used one because I've never bought a new car in my life. And I went and I was looking at, they had some 3-year-old cars that I was looking at, and that I was interested in buying that model, right? There was like I looked at an Outback. I looked at a Forester. You know, I'm an SUV person. I like SUVs. And the 3-year-old vehicles, if I bought a brand new one with the same package, identical package, the 3-year-old vehicle was only $3,000 less than a brand new one. That was it, $3,000.
Well, you were shopping at a dealer.
Yeah, I was going through a dealer because I want, like I said, when we're looking, hey, you go at that time. They were charging an arm and a leg for used cars. Because you couldn't get it. It was hard to get
at a dealer.
No, anybody was, because it was hard to get new.
I don't need new. I buy used cars, but I go to the
auction. If I wanted a
auction.
new Forester or a new Outback, I had to wait at least a month. They were that far back ordered because of the chip shortage. This is back in 21 when it was importing the chips from, I think they came from China. I'm not sure where they came from. But they were so far back ordered that they just couldn't get the cars made. And you had to wait at least a month to get a brand new one. At least. Well, my car is totaled. I don't have a car. Well, they did have they had 2 brand new Cross Tracks. But these had the premium package, the more expensive package. And that's all they had on the lot that was new. Everything, and this is the new car dealership. That's all they had that was not already sold. That's it. There was no other cars. But I've been to a couple other dealers, and they didn't have anything. The new cars you were waiting a month to 2 months. And a friend of mine bought one later, and it took them 6 months to get their car. But they could have waited because they had a car. They were buying the same thing I had and had to wait 6 months to get it, a brand new one.
Fast forward to today, all the car lots.
Oh yeah, not today, not today. No, the cars are back up. But like I said, at that time, I had to have a car. I had no choice because I couldn't work without a car. And then rent a car cost me almost as much as I made working for the week. So I was going to spend.
The insurance company could have been paying for your car.
In New York, here it was almost $100 a day to rent a vehicle at that time. Yeah. Like I said, almost my whole paycheck would go to renting a car. So I had to bite the bullet, and I bought a new one because I was like, I'm not paying that much for a used one when I paid $3,000 more and I got a brand new one. So I bought the brand new one they had on the lot. I picked the one I liked of the 2, and that's what I got. That's what I did the video on. It's
Liberty Mutual told me they would pay for a rental car or a ride share.
Yeah,
and when I billed them $350 a week for ride share for 3 weeks, they denied it.
Where I screwed up, I did not have car rental on my insurance.
I didn't have rental on mine either, but they hit me.
Yeah, see, I had full coverage, but I didn't have.
You didn't need it if they hit you.
Well, it was considered both our faults, but she was a little more at fault because, I have $500 deductible. Well, they gave me the $500 deductible. I got $375 back, so I was less at fault than her.
Yeah, UPS hit my car.
It took them 6 months to settle that.
It took me 4. UPS hit my car parked in front of my house.
Well, what happened was I was given so much money by my insurance company, and then my insurance company and her insurance company bought it out, and when it was settled, they sent me another $375. That's how I know she was more at fault than me because, like I said, mine was $500 deductible. So they gave me everything but my $500 deductible for my car after it's paid off. And then, like I said, later on, I got an extra $375. That's the only reason I know they considered her more at fault than me.
Give me another Coke.
But what I did when I got the new car is I went ahead and I got the rental insurance. It cost me like $10 a month, if that much. I don't think it's $10 a month, but it's very little a month. And so I got it. So it's like now if anything happens and I have to have a car. See, now when I was living up in Leroy, Rochester area, I was living in Leroy, New York. I would take it to a dealer. They were a Chevy dealer, but I had a Toyota, but I'd take it to them for repair because that's who my insurance company preferred. They were one of their preferred people. And but they would always give me a rental car without me having to pay anything. They just, I don't know how they did it, but I always got a rental car and I never had to pay anything for the rental when my car was being repaired.
Well, living here in Johnstown, I can tell you this. All the mechanics are liars and thieves.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Allstate has certain
Associated shops, they all do.
yeah, and they have to be approved and they're checked out every so often and all that good happy stuff. And
Well, the local mechanics here in Johnstown, where I live, I took my car in to have some alignment work done the other year when they bent the rear trailing arm on my car.
yeah,
They called me up and told me that they had to put a battery charger on my car because last night when they left it in the shop overnight, the battery went dead. So the hood's up on it right now and they're charging the battery
In the hood.
under the hood. And I said, well, that's kind of interesting. The guy's like, well, what do you mean? The battery that we can get you is like $350 and this and that. I said, yeah, but I don't know what you have your battery charger hooked up to, but my battery's in the back of my car. He's like, huh? I said, yeah, it's a Volvo. You got to lift the rear hatch and it's in where you think the spare tire would be. You better go out and check your battery charger, make sure they're not burning my car up.
yeah. Well, see, now you're talking about the
All right,
crooks.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta head back to my live stream because I got somebody in my panel.
All right,
There you
take
go.
care,
All
man.
right, see you guys later.
Yeah, peace.
All right, bye.
But in Indiana, they used to do car inspections, and they quit doing them because they found out so many garages and places were cheating on it. You go in if it wouldn't pass, you could pay them and they would pass it, or you could go in and they would take cars in that they knew. The state would take cars in that they knew would pass, everything was right on it, and they'd be told,
We have
this
the
is
opposite
wrong, this is
problem
wrong.
here.
And they would tell them that certain stuff was wrong. They had to be repaired to pass the thing. And others, they'd go in with stuff that was wrong, and they would say, well, this is not right, but we can get you the sticker, but you have to pay us this much money.
Oh, yeah, we didn't.
No, they did this in Indiana. It was in Indiana.
Well, in our neighborhood, every time you take your car in to have it passed for inspection and they go through your car, I guarantee you about 2 hours after your car arrives, you get the phone call. It needs between $350 and $700 worth of work or more.
Yeah.
And
like I said,
Junior goes to the Votech for auto repair.
yeah.
So he took my car in and went through the whole entire car with his teacher, who's a licensed inspection instructor. He teaches it.
Yeah.
Inspection license.
And he has his instructor's certificate to go with his inspection license. We went through the whole car. There was no way it did not pass. And they called me up with, how much was the bill?
Like $750.
$750.
Because they needed tires.
Well, like I said,
They wanted They told us it needed brakes work and tire work, and it had brand new brakes all the way around.
Well, like I said, though, the Indiana, they discovered that there was just too much corruption in the system that they did away
It's
with
too
the
much-
safety inspection.
It's the same thing everywhere. I mean, you know, these garages, because they can't make enough money, they're crooks.
Yeah, well, I have mine done at the dealership, and
There's one honest guy in the neighborhood, and he just had to triple the size of his business because everybody goes to him.
like I said, the dealership I deal with, I take it in. They do all of the work of my car, all of it.
Sure.
They change the oil, they do everything.
We do
So
a
when it's time to get inspected, which will be for me is August, I already know if there's something wrong. Like right now, by August I'll need new tires, but it'll be almost 3 years on the tires. They're going to need new tires by then.
They shouldn't, but yeah.
No, 3 years. Oh yeah, you'd be surprised how much driving I do on a car. Okay.
Tires today should last a minimum of 40,000 miles, if not more.
I got over 30,000 on my car right now.
Yeah, but you got the original.
I do about 12,000 or more miles a year.
Yeah.
I do. You got to remember, I run back to Terre Haute and back every year at least once. Plus, I drive round trip to and from work about 50 miles. 25 miles there, 25 miles back, almost every day.
Well, at 3 years old, it's not a bad thing to get new tires, but if you
No,
buy
like I
the
said,
right,
so by the time
I'd put
the
a good
inspection
set of
comes around-
Coopers on it
Yeah.
and get 50, 60,000 out of your next set
Oh,
of
yeah.
tires.
Well, the ones that came with it are rated for like 30 or 40, about 40,000 miles. So
I got
it's gonna be-
Pirellis on mine,
I'm going to want new tires before next winter. That's
But
all
I
there
got-
is to it.
I got cheap Pirellis on mine, and they're only good for 40,000.
Yeah, I'll go with it a little more expensive because I want them to be the last tires I buy.
On your car, I would put a good set of Coopers,
Well-
because they got a nice aggressive tire that's real good in the snow.
Yeah, like I said, I'll get it through the dealership, the best tires they have, because I'll have them put it on it. Because by buying it through them, when I take it in, they do the rotate.
Then you won't be putting Coopers on it.
But that's all right. Like I said, they
Dealership
do all
won't
they rotate it and change the oil every time I take it in. There's no cost for the rotation if you buy the tires through them. So wherever you buy the tires, that's where you want to go in for your oil change. Because you got to pay for the oil change.
Everybody does the tire rotation deal if you buy your tires from them.
That's what I'm saying. So, but that's where I go because that's where I take my car to get inspected. They do all the work, so I'll just buy my tires through them.
Yeah, I do my own tire work, so I just buy my tires through Tire Rack.
Yeah, but like I said, I live in an apartment.
I do too. I live in a mobile situation, and
Vince said he always had Michelin tires. Michelin's a good set. So's Goodyear.
well, what you don't realize, and most people don't
I used to
know,
buy Coopers when they were an off-brand.
they still are.
No. Coopers. When I bought Coopers, they were half the price of Firestones,
They
Bridgestone.
still are.
No, Coopers is not that cheap anymore.
Where I'm at, they're half the price of everything else. Here's the deal, though. There's only two companies that do tire technology for all the tires in America, and it's Firestone and Goodyear.
Yeah.
They invent the technology, and they sell it to Continental, Cooper, all the other little tire manufacturers.
I started using Coopers back in the late 70s, early 80s.
The steel belts, most of them steel belts are made by Firestone.
But
And most people don't know that. So if you're buying anybody else's tire, it's got a Firestone steel belt in it.
my older brother is the one that turned me on to Cooper tires. And later on, when Coopers got up there a little more expensive, I started buying Firestones because we had a Firestone. That's all they dealt with was Firestones in Terre Haute. So I started putting Firestones on it, and I get the oil change and just went right to the dealer itself. But since I bought my last few cars through dealers, I just do it through the dealership. Have all the work done with them. I have them check the inspection. So
Well, if you're happy with that, it costs you more to do it that way. That's all.
It costs a little more, but I trust him more than I do some, some. I don't know any mechanics around here. And I back all my new mechanics.
Yeah.
If I was in Erie, Pennsylvania, there was a guy I knew in Erie, Pennsylvania that was a mechanic. So there's guys, but I don't know any mechanics out here. And
I'm really lucky. I did my own work forever. And now Junior, from working with me on the cars all these years, he does a lot of stuff.
I took auto mechanics in high school. I never signed up for it. Okay, I did not want to take auto mechanics. But my senior year, I had 1 semester of auto mechanics. What I signed up for was auto body repair. They said they were going to have auto body repair. I thought it'd be fun, maybe to bang out some dents and learn how to, fix the rust spots and maybe paint the car. I thought that might be fun. And I was planning on going my whole senior year. I wasn't planning on going half a year when I signed up for it. Well, they decided they weren't going to offer auto body. It was a brand new high school. And they decided, well, they didn't have the money for it. They were going to drop that. And because I was a senior, they put me in auto mechanics. Thinking, well, if he's interested in auto body, he's got to be interested in auto mechanics. And I decided I wanted to graduate in January because I was going to go in the Navy. I decided I didn't like the new school, but I wanted to graduate from high school. So I decided I was going to graduate in January, which means I had to drop a class. I was going to drop auto mechanics. And because I had to take a different class that was going to be offered the second semester, I had to pick it up. And I went and was talking to a math teacher that I had, and I signed up for mathematical analysis. I was pretty good in math when I was younger. I'd already had trig, geometry, algebra, that stuff. And I could either took calculus or mathematical analysis. Mathematical analysis was a half step between calculus and what I've already had. And I decided I'd just take mathematical analysis.
Well, here's a good one for you.
So anyway, no, when I went in and told the teacher I was going to graduate in January, he says, well, Larry, he says, you got to drop a class, drop this one. And I said, why? He says, well, the first semester is nothing but a review of everything you've already had. You already had everything we're going to study the first semester. So you're not going to learn anything new. And if I dropped the auto mechanics, I had 2 hours. I had another hour of study hall I had to take, and I hate study halls. So I dropped his class instead.
I just bought Junior one of them new Milwaukee Fuel, as they call it, battery-operated impact guns.
Okay.
Oh, my God. To work on a car now, it's like zoom, zoom, everything. No air hose needed. No big air compressor. You just plug this thing in and go with it. Oh, my God.
Got a lot of power then.
400. It has more torque than a regular air gun. Another thing that we do that we buy a lot of car parts today on Amazon.
Yeah.
And Rock Auto. Sway bar links on the front of my car. If I go get them at the auto parts store down the street,
yeah,
one guy's $50 a piece. The other guy's $31. If I buy them on Amazon, they're the same exact sway bar link. They're $5. There's that big of a price difference. I have a rack and pinion leak in my car, and I wouldn't put the rack in because they wanted $1,000 for the rack and pinion steering unit.
Yeah.
I paid $250 for a whole rack and pinion steering unit. I'm putting it in myself in a week or two with my son.
Now make sure he wears safety glasses.
Safety. Oh, well, we got a story there for you. I told you
I
what
know,
he
you told me about it.
My God. Yeah. I'm still dealing with that. He's off from school now on Monday too. He's got a really bad cornea tear that he's dealing with from blowing sawdust off an air hose into his eye.
Right.
And I'm like, son, why would you know? I always tell you don't do that. You should know better than to do that. Oh, well, I was just getting cleaned up. I said, yeah, well, That little piece of wood chip that you blew into your eye was probably doing 100 miles an hour when it hit you.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And Monroe, you're right. Especially, they really like these car shops really like to run a game on a woman. But if they sense that the man doesn't know what's going on, they'll do the same thing.
They're running the game on everybody where
If
I
they
live.
can get away, when they think they can get away with it, you got that right.
Well, it's so bad out here with these cops doing inspection. I got the police rode by my car in a parking lot and stopped and got out because the inspection stickers were bad. And they asked my son about it, and my son said, "Yeah, we took it to 2 different shops, and they didn't pass the car, and they wanted to just charge us all kinds of money, and the car qualifies and passes, so we didn't let them work on the car." And the cop said, "Oh, I hear this all the time," and got back in his car and left.
Yeah.
They're just so notorious in this town because the people are poor. They don't have a lot of money, so they try and always not get a lot of work done on their car, I guess. And I guess the shops are having a hard time paying their employees and keeping their doors open. So if you take your car in for inspection, it's the only time they can jump you. And I've never been able. Inspection's supposed to be like $99 out the door with your inspection and emissions.
Well, man, that's more expensive than here.
And then they want $350 to $500 or $700 on top of that, whether your car needs the work or not. And if they tell you that, they put the parts on it. But if my car's got brand new brakes on it, how are you telling me it needs brakes? I just put them on last week. And it's just like they think you don't know your car, or the battery's under the hood and it's in the trunk. Come on, people. And it tells you who not to take your car back to.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said once you find an honest mechanic, an honest shop, I'd rather pay more and have that. I just,
Oh, that's why I said the one guy just tripled the size of his shop. He just bought a brand new alignment rack too. That's why I had to take my car somewhere else. The guy I was taking it to didn't have an alignment rack.
Well, like I said, back home when I was still living in Indiana, I went to this one shop all the time, and Charlie's, and he ended up, he had a gas station, a 2-bay garage, right? He ended up closing the gas station, sold it off to somebody else, went and built a brand new shop with like 4 bays or more, and then still you had to schedule a week or so in advance to get in. And then when he retired, he sold the business to one of his mechanics.
I had, not around here, but when I lived over in the Philly area, there was a guy who owned a shop, and he was a Muslim. And he had all these Arab and Muslim and people from the Middle East working on cars all day. He hired himself a guy to run the desk from America. He hired a service manager and a service writer who were local guys.
Yeah.
And he was doing like $8,000 or $9,000 worth of work a day through the shop because my buddy knew him. But if he put Arab people up front, nobody wanted to do business with him. When he put local people up front to talk to the customers, the place was so busy you couldn't get near the place.
Yeah.
And Americans are funny like that. They can be very prejudiced.
And, well, that plus also, and I agree with you on that. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's how well does a person communicate.
They were communicating all right, but
as I said, sometimes you're right on. Like I said, there are people that are going to do it because they're prejudiced. But sometimes you go in, if the person, you can't understand them. Yeah, I've dealt with that.
You have a little bit of communication problem. You get all frustrated and run.
Yeah, and they don't want to go back because it's frustrating.
And I got to tell you, his shop for these.
Hey, Amara, how you doing, Amara?
These Middle Eastern guys. Let me tell you something. They knew their cars and did excellent work.
Oh, you got that right. There's people from everywhere that does good work. Yes,
absolutely. America has this problem right now.
Well,
and I don't know how they're going to cure it. They They want to send all the immigrants back. Well, we're all immigrants, and there's just not enough white people.
Let's don't get into that because we're going to have a disagreement there.
Okay,
I have nothing against immigration. My best friend is from China. I have nothing against immigration. I do have something against them crossing the border illegally. All right. Now, if they come legally, welcome. Go get a job. Live the dream.
More people
don't come here illegally.
More people cross the border without walking across the Texas border. There's a million other ways to get here. That's my only point.
Yeah, but my only point is if you're here illegal, then I'm against you. And I wasn't before 9/11, all right?
They don't have to be here illegally. They just got to sign them up as they come through.
If they're here illegal, I'm all for them. Hey, go ahead.
Do you know that more people fly into JFK and LaGuardia and get off the plane with no papers and stay than cross the Mexican border? But they can make it a great picture show in Texas, and that's what all they're doing.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you're here illegally, I don't care how you get here. If you're here illegally, I'm not for you being here. If you come here legally, I'm all for it.
They got another problem that they're going to run into in a couple of years, Larry. If we don't start letting people in soon, we're not going to have enough people to keep our tax base together. Us baby boomers, I'm the last of them, are aging out. I'll be 60 years old this year. Yeah. And if we don't start bringing more people in, then we have a problem because there's not going to be enough people to keep the economy going.
We got more people here coming in than what we need.
We really don't.
Let's get off the immigration, Mac Daddy. We don't need.
Right, but you say we have more people than what we need, but we really don't, Larry. There's millions of jobs that go untaken in this country.
No, there are not that many jobs. No.
Well, I guess you don't live in the same neighborhood I do.
No, I'm not saying there's not areas. I'm not saying there's not people, jobs not being taken, but I said there are not millions. No.
There's millions of jobs.
You have people, Americans, not working. Get them to work. You have veterans living on the streets. If you want to give out money, give it to the veterans living on the streets.
Where are all these veterans living on the streets at?
They're not away too much.
They're not here in my neighborhood.
Well, they're doing it a lot of others. Check with New York City. Check with Chicago.
They go to certain areas. But here's the other thing. Where I live right now, they can't get people to work dietary in the hospital because I just been through the hospital the last couple months. And the one hospital has 40 positions. Has 40 positions open in housekeeping. Yeah. They're closed down went to the hospital because they can't get the support staff. It's true.
But there are places where they're going to be. There are Americans who get so much money from not working, they don't want to work.
They pay. But that's a different story. They pay right now an opening salary at the hospital. They pay $17 an hour plus benefits for people to empty trash, mop floors, and do the housekeeping, and they can't hire anybody.
Like I said, you got people who think that's a job is beneath them.
Well, the point is
I know.
They're bringing people in from Kenya.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Hey, Robert, you're right. Let's remember all the servicemen, not just the ones on the Indianapolis that died, but all the servicemen who died during World War II and the other preceding wars and the wars that came later. It's a terrible, and I'm talking about both sides. It's a terrible tragedy when people die in war. I'm not saying sometimes it's not necessary, because it is.
It's a terrible tragedy when you bomb women and children in Palestine.
We're not Israel. No politics. No politics.
Well, yeah, but you want to talk about war. Let's talk about war.
No, we're not going to talk about politics.
But that's war.
No, we're talking about history, not what the heck.
I'm talking about history too.
Hey, Mr. Larry. The utmost respect to you, Triple L.
Well,
I'm going to speak out on this subject.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's moral to bomb women and children.
I don't think it's moral
Mac
to
Daddy,
rape
Mac
and
Daddy,
murder kids.
no
But
disrespect.
them women and children that they bombed didn't do that.
Yeah, but like I said, there's nothing the Israelis did either.
Mac
What do you
Daddy,
mean there's nothing the
Mac
Israelis did?
Daddy, can we do a timeout here?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Can we do a timeout here? Let's calm this situation down. That's not what Larry's channel is about. All right? Let's not talk about what's going on in the world. Larry's about sitting here talking to friends and having a good time. All right? Me and Larry are both Navy veterans. We've seen a lot. We've been through a lot. And I don't bring politics and I don't bring religion into a live stream.
I'll leave the
Am I
politics
wrong,
at the
Larry? Am I wrong, Larry?
No.
and I'm not bringing religion at all.
Like I said,
Listen, Israel has been standing as a country surrounded by dogs for what? 70 years, Larry?
about that length.
Don't you think they can take care of themselves?
Yeah.
Very good. That's true, but they
All
can't.
right, now stop. All right, let it be. 16 years, 4 hash marks on my arm, fighting every religion, every person in the world.
And by
Let's
the way,
not bring-
a hash mark stands for 4 years in the Navy.
Every hash mark is 4 years in the Navy.
Like
I
I
have
said, a hash
four
mark
of
stands
I
for
have
4
4
years.
of them. 16 years in the United States Navy as a United States Navy SEAL. I've seen everything and done everything.
Well, as a SEAL, God bless you. Thank you for your service. That is one hell of a road.
I respect Larry. Larry is one of my best friends. I don't want no one messing with his channel.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with Larry's channel. Me and Larry are great friends, and you know, I have a problem though, and you'll understand this. War is almost never justified.
Listen, nothing's justified. I will quote a very famous Civil War general. War is hell.
Oh, sure.
And Sherman also said this, I have to bring it to him to break him. Did he not, Larry?
Yeah.
He said he would make the South howl, and he did.
I'll tell you the problem I have, and it's not, and I'll mention this. I'm not really talking about war. So don't think
war is not beautiful. It is something that's tragic.
Oh, it is,
Mac Daddy.
And I agree with you. But the problem I'm having with this whole Israeli-Palestinian situation, what the Palestinians did to the Israelis, nobody could ever condone, and it was probably the wrongest, most heinous thing ever been done.
How old are you, Mac Daddy?
I'm 60 years old.
Well, I'm 61, which neither here or there.
But
they've been fighting for thousands of years.
The Middle East has been on fire like that forever. But here's my problem.
Leave it alone. It doesn't belong in live stream.
I don't want to. I'm not attacking it. The only thing that I have a problem with is they're attacking.
I will protect Larry and his channel.
Well, that's fine. But the only thing I have a problem with, and Larry will even agree with me on this one, the mistake in the Middle East that the Palestinian people don't cure, and it's their own fault, is they let somebody else put people in front of them that don't serve their needs.
Imagine that.
Yeah, well, I know. And how did they get there? I don't know.
Larry, may I say it, Mac Daddy? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
Larry?
good.
Larry?
Yeah.
No disrespect. You know this is a subject that I'm very...
And I'm listening to you. I'm not arguing.
Passionate on. You know what I've been through, Larry.
Yeah.
I didn't earn the rank I earned and been through what I've been through. I don't want to see your channel hurt or hit by YouTube or anything like that because you're talking about politics, religion, or anything like that. All right. You need to let that lay.
I agree with you, and I won't mention it again. I'm just saying.
I respect Larry as a fellow Navy man who I respect more than the world. I don't want his channel damaged by talking about war, politics, or religion.
I agree with you there, but I have such a hard time understanding.
Let
I
it go,
have never
brother.
been in
It
the
is.
military.
It is what it is.
And look at it this way: smarter people than us cannot understand it.
I can't wrap my hands around anything, Mac Daddy. You understand?
Yeah.
I served 16 years and I still ain't got the whole concept. I'll let it go. I did my service. I'm done.
Like I said, there's smarter people than us that can't explain it. I mean,
But-
the atrocity. Let me say my piece here. The atrocities that happen on both sides is wrong.
Yeah.
True.
But the
And that's all I was pointing out.
philosophy,
That's all I meant to point out too, by the way.
Very true. What Larry's saying is the atrocities are the same on both sides.
yeah. But the thing is, they've been trying to stop it for, like you said, thousands of years. How many presidents have tried to stop it?
Listen.
Smarter people than us have tried to figure this out, and they can't get it figured out.
Even the
Because
Knights went over there, Larry, and fought for the Crusades. All right, so it's been going on for thousands and hundreds of years.
So I'm saying,
Leave it alone.
there's nothing we can do.
That's true. There's not
What if you
anything
really
we can
want to
do.
get down to it? This is what I'm going to say: short, simple, and to the point. America needs to take care of America.
I agree with you.
All right. Yes, U.S. will always be there to back somebody up. Let me give you some information here you probably don't know a lot about. Larry may know it. You may not.
What's that?
But the United States Navy's got 4 carrier groups in the Philippine Sea right now,
Yes, I do know that.
keeping China in check.
Yes.
Because you got to worry about not only the Philippines, you also got Taiwan.
You know why they're
and
doing
Japan.
that?
Do I know?
Why do you think they're doing that? Do you think politicians care about you, Larry, or me?
No.
No.
So let it lie, and
we are
that's all
trying to
I'm going to
control-
say on
We're trying
that.
to keep the whole South China Sea open, and it's not really the China Sea, but that's what they call it.
That's not what it's about.
No.
It's about politics.
Larry's military. He knows what I'm thinking. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, it's politics.
It's politics.
And control.
It's the same thing. The same thing was in Vietnam. It was politics.
JFK said one thing: he would not get involved in Vietnam. What happened to JFK?
Oh, they shot him.
JFK sent the first advisors, but he wasn't going to send troops.
He was not
And they
going to send. He was not going to send military support.
Well,
They
no,
shot Martin Luther King when he came out against Vietnam.
Well, see, here we go again. Let's not go into politics and all that. I'm sorry, Larry.
No,
But,
you're right. I'm not arguing with you guys. I agree with you.
I've been all over the world, Mac Daddy. I've looked people in their eyes and seen the hatred in their eyes because I was there.
like I said, there's a lot of hatred in the world. There really is.
I will say this, and it's the only thing I'm going to say on religion. I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I know why he died for me. I
Me
fight
too.
to keep this land free.
Yeah, don't
That's
have to
why
agree
I
with you.
fought.
I have to give you the right to say what you want to say.
No, I don't disagree with anything you
stripes,
say.
Mac Daddy.
The serviceman's motto is, I may not agree with you, but I will fight to the death to protect your right to say it.
Damn right. I
That's
follow
the
the orders.
serviceman's motto.
May
You
not
may
agree with
not
it,
come
but
up
I
with
follow
that.
the orders.
But that's why he serves. He may not like what you have to say, but he knows you have the right to say it, and he'll damn sure fight for you to have that right, even though he may totally disagree with
That's
you.
why America is America.
Oh, I love America. I would never trade us for anything. We are.
Mac Daddy. Can you see? I'm gonna give you a close up. Larry probably didn't. I think me and Larry maybe done one video call. See these scars on my face? I can barely see out of this eye. I'm blown up. I've been shot, stabbed,
Well,
all in the service of my country.
you're
So
like my friend.
let it
You're like my friend that
lie. The Israelis can take care of themselves.
Yes, I know that.
All right, now,
Now let's get on another subject, Larry.
yeah.
I love that last video you did.
Oh, the VW, the bug.
Yeah.
What year
I pass
bug?
that by that every day I go to work.
What year bug?
Oh,
Older
I-
one, newer one?
I got there's a VW bug. It's an old one. And the guy's got lights on it.
What year was it?
I never got out and looked that close. I don't want to walk in the guy's yard.
Well,
It's in the person's yard. It's in the so I just got out in a driveway next to it. It's like a business driveway that's closed when I stopped. And I took a video. It's a blue VW because I see it going home too, but you can't see it.
Sorry, Larry. I got to show Mac Daddy this. This is what I am.
The Trident. The Seal Trident. But anyway, it's a blue Volkswagen and it's got lights on it. And then where the headlights are at, there's some white lights there as well. So
It's a
when you go
bug?
by at night, it's well lit up.
It's a
like
bug?
he uses that, yeah. It's an old bug. It looks like it's from the 60s. It may not be, but that's what it looks like.
Oh, it's an old one.
Yeah, it's an old one.
Does it have the real tiny tail lights?
Like I said,
the one's the size of a quarter. I had a
didn't go in the
55.
yard. I had to got in the yard because the front's facing out. And
Yeah, the real tiny
I-
taillights, the size of like a half a dollar, is a 55 bug.
Yeah,
And a
like
small back
back in
window.
the 60s, it's got the real tiny,
Yeah, but
tail
like I said,
lights.
I couldn't show it at night.
and it's got the small
It's
window
got-
in the back.
But no, right beside it, it's got like an old gas pump on the other
Really?
side. Yeah, well, I couldn't show that because it was too dark to see it.
Well, the
I
original
may
bug, the
do another one
55,
during the daytime.
you had to raise the hood to put gas in them.
Well, the motor
And they had no
Yeah,
fuel gauge.
yeah,
They had
you
a
are
fuel reserve
right
flip.
on that, Mac Daddy.
What?
You are right on that. Yeah, you had to raise the hood to get gas in the old
I
one.
had a 55 bug. I had a 63, a 67, a couple 68s. I had my share of bugs. My
Like I said,
55
it's the old
bug,
Scout- it's the old
you used to have to
Scout
put a quart of
thing.
oil in the air filter. Uh-oh, we lost him.
No,
No, you didn't. I'm still here.
Oh, your
he
picture
just
went
turned his
down.
camera off.
No, I just turned the camera off
That's why I said you
Oh.
just turn your camera off.
because I'm
I
doing
had-
something my other half doesn't want me to do.
My 55 bug had no fuel gauge. You used to have to turn the lever in the middle up front on the floor panel on the
Well,
firewall up front.
The
When
the
you got
old
low on
Volkswagens
gas.
didn't have heaters either.
Let me ask, can I kind of give Mac Daddy a kind of trivia quiz thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a good guy to give that to.
What year and what month was the Camaro introduced?
The original Camaro was a 67. I'm not sure what month. I had a 67 RS Camaro with the tuckaway headlights. And
I'm
and
not saying an
emerald green.
RS. I'm saying the original Camaro when it was introduced.
It was a 19. Well, I don't know what month or it came out. It was a 67, 68, and 69 is the original small body style. Then for 70, they went to the 70s body style, and that changed a lot in 73.
My
and
God,
say
you're,
like
you're
78.
jumping all over the place, my friend.
I know all the Camaros.
All right, when was the first Trans Am introduced?
I think the first Trans Am was 1969. I could be wrong.
What was the color scheme on the body?
Sorry, man.
I'm not sure. But I know about the Copo
Blue
Camaro.
and white with a Ram Air hood and a tack on the hood. That was a 1969 Trans Am.
I'm
The
pretty
first-
good, though. I know my cars, don't I?
Yeah, you do. What do you know about
Ford
SS
Mustang.
Novas?
Ford Mustang.
Well, Oh,
Hey,
wait a minute. You want to go to
Larry,
SS Nova? So Nova
Larry,
was originally
What?
called the Chevy 2. And the
Larry.
SS Nova, we had a 64 SS Nova with the center console and the automatic shifter on
Hey,
the floor.
Mac Daddy, why don't you ask Larry? I'll send him a picture of my car. Was my Nova badass?
Oh yeah, that was a nice car.
You know
I
the
had a
most
1969 SS 396 Muncie 4-speed.
Must
Shall
be
I tell
rock
you my
pressure.
very first car? Should I tell you my very first car?
And
Sure.
it had a Dana
19
rear in it.
Hang on, my very first car was a 1968 Chevelle Super Sport,
Oh
3-speed,
my
turbo
God.
hydro automatic on the floor, yellow body, black top because it was a convertible, black leather seats.
Oh my God.
And I had that in
Chevelle.
San Diego, California back in 1974.
I had a
No,
69 Le
75, excuse me.
Mans
I bought
with
that in
the
75. It was 7 years old.
with the
You know what I-
350 turbo
you
rockers
know what I
down the
still
side under
own?
the doors.
You know what I
What?
still own, Mac Daddy?
What do you have?
1995 XLT Bronco 460 under the hood.
Yeah. Now you talk
That's
about
a-
the 68 and
That's the
69
big Ford
Super
motor.
Sports.
That's a nice Bronco.
How can you tell the difference
What?
on the
What?
side?
On what?
Let Larry talk, Mac.
I'm
Now-
listening.
On the 68 and 69 Chevelles, what was the difference if you looked at them from the side?
What do you mean? In
You
what
can
way?
tell a 69 from a 68 just by seeing the
Well,
side of
it
the car.
would be one.
Probably marker lights.
It would be up in the front. It'd be up
You
on
had-
the front fender wells around the headlights.
Yeah, the 69 had the small, on the side, the small light with a 396 or whatever size motor it had in it, and a small light at the back. The 68 only had the big one in the front. That
I'm
said
gonna,
the
let,
396.
I'm gonna let Larry finish, but I'll give you all,
All
a
right,
real thumper.
now, how
I
can
got
you
one
tell
for you,
if you
too.
saw the interior of the 68 and the 69? How could you tell the difference?
I would say up on the front fender wells around the chromium, around the front
interior.
headlights.
I'm talking about the interior of the car.
No, I'm
There's
talking
a
about
difference.
the exterior of the car.
Yeah, but on the interior, there's a difference between the 68 and 69, and it's very noticeable. That's how you can tell the difference, unless somebody takes a 68, put it in a 69, or 69, put it in a 68.
Well, you know what, Mac Daddy? I think Larry's got me on that one.
Headrest.
Oh, the
The
headrest on
headrest?
the seats.
69
Really?
had a headrest,
Something
68
that
didn't.
simple?
Yeah, 68 didn't have a headrest.
I had, you know what I had that was a 1-year car? I had a 1972 Gran Torino Sport with the little oval center grille.
All right.
But like I said,
The 1-year
Now-
Ford front end.
Now,
had a
Larry, I'm gonna
68, my
throw-
best
I'm
friend
gonna
in the
throw-
Navy had a 69.
I'm gonna throw something out here
Yeah, me.
that's really gonna stump you in, Mac Daddy.
Let's go.
What is the only Chevrolet that came out with SS emblem on it, but there was no SS emblem on the back?
El Camino.
Eh.
Ooh.
I wanted to say the Riley, but it's not the SS Riley.
Eh.
Or Riley, not Riley.
Malibu wagon.
1970 Monte
What?
Carlo SS 454.
Okay.
Okay. Well, see, that
It was the only Chevrolet car that was introduced without an SS emblem in the front or on the sides. It was on the back.
You know, you would like my brother's toy. My brother has a
Nah.
67 Ford F100 straight 6 with 3 on the tree.
Nah,
Huh.
if you know where you guys
7,000
ever drove
original
it,
miles. It even
about-
has the carburetor tag.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
a naturally aspirated motor to me is the best.
but-
Well, wait a minute. You're saying aspirated motor? What, like in a Rolls Royce? They have no
Larry,
carburetor.
tell him what a naturally aspirated motor
Oh,
is.
there's no carburetor on an aspirated motor.
Yeah, there is. That's what it means, naturally aspirated. Carburetor.
Our Rolls Royce was naturally aspirated but had no carburetor. It had a bunch of cans under the hood. And it was like injected. And
Right.
the aspiration was just air
I'm not a
coming in.
mechanic, so don't ask me. I can talk cars a little bit, but when you go to mechanics,
And that was a 76 Silver
Well,
Wraith that I used to drive
I'm
all
a
the time.
mechanic Mac Daddy from 26 years. I've worked on anything from 454s to 502s to 572s, all the way down.
I'm
And
saying,
a
I
naturally
was never.
aspirated motor there's nothing like it. Larry, have you ever heard a 396 when it idles?
Well, I'll tell you what, my
I have.
396,
It
mine was
does.
so quiet. Mine was so quiet. When I stopped, you didn't hear anything until I had a lifter started going out.
See, I know
Well,
most
when
of mine.
And then you could hear that lifter. But when I was before the lifter got dirty, when I stopped at a stop sign, you couldn't tell it was running.
Well, my
I know-
396, when you first started her in the morning,
Yeah.
she did that while she was breathing. You know, she was getting life to her.
But your 396 was a little older than my 396.
See, I'm
I
used
don't
to.
mean by
I'm
year,
used to
I
real
mean by
long
the age
connecting
when you had
rods.
it. I mean by the age when you had it.
I'm
I'm
used to like
47 years old
Chevy
now.
Motors.
Since Mac Daddy is such a Ford fan,
No, I'm not a Ford fan.
the Ford 29 Boss,
That's a Mustang.
baddest Mustang that was ever made.
Now, I do have a question for both of you.
I had a
Hold on,
Thunderbird.
Hold up. Let me ask my question. Has
Okay.
either one of you ever driven a push button automatic?
I've seen them. They were Plymouths, a lot of them.
Yeah, Plymouth.
Yeah. I drove a 53 Plymouth with push button automatic. It was one of the first cars I ever drove.
Yeah, they were awesome cars to ride, man. They're fun.
I was 15. I was not driving legal. My cousin George, who's 11 days older than me.
It's kind of funny you bring that up, Larry.
He lived in Iowa, and he was able to get a license because he worked on a farm.
It's kind of
I
funny.
But he
I'm
drove
sorry,
back,
Larry.
But he
It's
drove back to
69.
Indiana, and he let me drive his 53 Plymouth push button automatic. I mean, not Plymouth, Pontiac. Push button automatic.
Mac Daddy, he's bringing up an old memory. When my mother she told me the story when she first went to drive. First time she ever drove a car. It was a push button transmission.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
she
got
ran
one
into
for you.
the tree. And her
I'm going
dad
to
told her
now.
he wasn't worried about the car, he was worried about the tree.
The RS Camaro I was telling you about earlier. We bought just the body because somebody had stolen it from the guy and pulled the motor and trans out of it.
Nah,
So when we put it back together,
you're talking about a RS SS, and that was 1969.
I'm talking a 67 RS Camaro, not an RS SS. It was an RS Rally Sport, not a Super Sport. And they stole the motor and trans out of the car. We put a Pontiac motor and trans in it and had a custom drive shaft made.
Shade Tree Mechanics, huh?
We put it together.
I got them, Larry. I got them. Shade Tree.
I got
Shade
one for
Tree
you.
Mechanics.
I had an 88 Ford Thunderbird, and I had the performance model, and it didn't have a V6 in it, and it didn't have a 302 V8 in it. It did not have a V8 in it. What did they have in it?
What is the rarest T-Bird, Mac Daddy?
I don't know what the rarest is. I had an 88 Turbo Coupe with a 4.3 turbo in it.
That's the one I'm talking about.
I owned one.
If you can find that car, it's worth a lot of money.
I had it with the leather interior, the sunroof, the 5-speed on the floor.
Now, Robert Minden, that was a badass car. He said his friend had a Chevelle
What's that?
444.
454.
Says one of his friends.
You know one of my favorite cars, Larry?
What's that?
Was the Hearst Olds.
Yes.
Well, like I said, my favorite car is the car I owned. It was a 68 Chevelle Super Sport 396 3-speed turbo hydro on the back of the floor.
But you can't take nothing. You can't take nothing away from that Hearst Olds.
No,
My friend had a Monte Carlo Aero Coupe, which is one of the rarest Monte Carlos.
But like I said, though, I had a convertible in San Diego when I was 21 years old.
Now, you want to know the sleeper that Buick put out in the 80s?
That would be the oh God, what did they call them? The National.
Buick Grand National.
National, right?
As I said, the National.
had a V6 supercharged in it.
Yes, sir.
Now,
And I had
wait a minute.
I had a friend in Florida that had the Chevrolet emblem on the front of his car and it was broken.
yeah,
He said
I-
the heartbeat stops here.
I'll tell you, I had a 76 Dodge Dart Sport slant 6. That
They ran
sucker would
forever.
run forever.
225. Slant
I said,
6.
but that slant 6 would run forever.
My brother
Oh,
had
yeah.
a 73 Dart
Listen,
with
that,
a 318.
Larry, that motor would have noises and ticks, but that slant 6 would never give out.
I'll tell you
And
what,
the 318s were great motors too.
I had it.
What's that?
The 318s, the V8.
They're all right. Mopar.
But like I said, that
Always
slant
needed
6
to
I
start.
had in it was
Now,
well,
if you, now,
it was
if you
well
can
over
get
10
your
years
hand, now,
old.
if you can get your hands on a 1969 Hemi Cuda with a
Oh,
shaker
yeah,
hood, crazy purple. You know how much that car's worth?
Probably about 75,000 or better.
No, it went in auction at Barrett Jackson for $2 million.
Oh,
And I'm talking about plain Jane. It didn't have aluminum rims. It had hubcaps, had the shaker hood, the Hemi, the whole 9 yards.
I
gotta
had
talk
a-
to- I gotta
And
listen
they
to Robert.
bid it on that car because it was the 5th one off the line.
I got to say something to Robert and Minden now. Robert, I had a
Yeah.
Chevy Chevette myself. It
Chevette?
had the aluminum block. Had the aluminum block.
I'm sorry, Larry. I had to laugh on the Chevy Chevette.
Oh yeah, I had it. The Chevy Chevette had an aluminum block. I'm trying to remember what year it was. It was a 2-seater, 3-speed on the floor.
That's all it was. It was meant to be a disposable car.
Now, the thing
yeah,
was,
really.
you had to change the spark plugs about as often as you changed the oil.
Of course.
You had to. You really
And
had
the drive
you're
shaft
talking
was
about,
the brake
Larry,
on
you're
it.
talking about a car that they made to when we were going through the gas crisis.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a
They-
car made for the gas crisis, the tail end of it though. I
Yeah,
had
well,
a
the Chevette, the Pinto, the Vega,
I had the Pinto.
they were all
I had a
made
Pinto.
for that.
I
Yeah,
had a
Pinto.
Chevrolet Sprint Turbo made by Suzuki. Later became
Imagine that.
Robert
Had a
Minden says he
1 liter
started in
I'm
turbo.
sorry.
Pinto.
I'm sorry, Mac Daddy.
But yeah, Robert.
I'm
I'm
Minden says
sorry.
he started in
I'm sorry
Pinto.
for being facetious.
No, it had a 1 liter turbo in it with a 4-speed on the floor.
Nah,
A lot of fun to drive.
I've had my elbows and my hands in many engines, and I've had the pleasure. I've had my pleasure of working on many of them.
But we didn't
I
start
had a
talking
friend that
about
was in,
Chevy boat motors yet. They all got real long connecting rods, like fountains, formulas.
Do you know?
Garrett-
You want to know where my motor ended up from my Nova?
I have no idea.
On a boat.
Well, see, I know about the heads too. You know about like the angle plug fuelie heads with the tits on the front
No.
of them.
Larry,
Looks like a bee laying down.
Larry, are you very mechanically?
No, I'm not a mechanic. No.
All right.
I got one for you.
Do you
Did
know
you
what
ever-
you know what a 396 is?
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I had a 396.
All right. All a 396 is a 427 with different heads.
Yeah,
The 396 will give and give. That's the only flaw with this engine. It will give and give and give until it blows.
I got one for you. Did you ever take a Chevy Vega torque converter and put it in your 350 transmission
Oh, that's
to
retarded.
get the high stall speed?
Yeah, well, of course, that's only gonna last about 4 months until you blow out the transmission.
No, we got a lot more than that out of it. We had a
Yeah,
69 Camaro that we
I-
used
I
to have to
saw
put
many
together all the
guys-
time.
Take the 350 and put it in a stock Vega transmission, and it goes in 4 months.
No. We take the Vega torque converter and put it in our 350 turbo trans, and then bolted up to a 350 small block.
I
And
guess
they give
it's
you a
turned into a
3,500
car
stall
show,
speed.
Larry.
Yeah, I see it. Well, like I said, back when I was in the Navy, like I said, when I first went in, a friend of mine I went to high school with
I'm gonna show
had,
respect to
had
you,
a
brother. I'm gonna turn off the
1964.
camera.
Was it Fairlane? I think, or Falcon, the little small square box car. He dropped a 390 and he had to cut the firewalls out to get it in there. But that's
All right.
something to move.
Well, Larry, I guess Mac Daddy's more knowledgeable on this. What's the
Well, I had
only Ford and Mercury brand name that had the badge put on it? Cyclone.
The only Ford and Mercury that had a Cyclone. You got me
Badge
stumped
on
on that one.
I'm
Duster
saying
made a
a Cyclone badge on it. Let me be clear with that. Cyclone.
Plymouth Duster
Cyclone
made a
badge.
Cyclone.
No, Ford.
I know, I
Ford.
can't think of that one.
Ford and Mercury. The Fairlane.
Okay.
Okay.
Cyclone. What's the Mercury, Mac Daddy? It had it was the badge name from Ford. It's the same company.
It'd probably be a Mercury Cougar.
Okay. What was under the hood?
It would be probably not the 302. It'd be the one before the 302, a 289.
429.
Oh, 429. That's the bigger motor, much bigger motor.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
thinking of this.
it's a Cyclone. You
Now
think
see,
it'd be
I
the more
turned the
powerful
camera
one.
off for a reason, Larry.
So you had the 429 CJ too. The 429
Listen,
Cobra.
Ford,
Jet,
Yeah,
Ford
they're
has
good.
many engine sizes.
But,
Like there's a lot of engines that Pontiac put out that people don't know about.
Yes. Well, I had Buicks too. Buick used to have the
And then you
distributor.
have AMC. You have AMC.
So
the
when you
Pacer-
What was their muscle car?
they had a Javelin and they had a Gremlin.
It was the AMX.
Well, that one too.
AMX was above the Javelin.
Yes.
the Gremlin was just a little. It was not a
Gremlin
power
was
car.
yeah, you're
It
right,
was not a
Larry.
power car at all.
My
Yeah, the
brother's
Gremlin was
a bracket
the
racer.
Gremlin was meant to be a
Let
disposable
me
car.
tell you guys what neighborhood I grew up in. I grew up in one of the only neighborhoods in the country.
Wayne's World, Larry. They
Here,
drove wasn't that Javelin or whatever it was, Pacer. AMC Pacer.
baseball. They always had big manifolds, exhaust manifolds on them. Let me tell you what neighborhood I grew up in. I grew up in a neighborhood where you could drive to 3 national drag strips all in like the same day. Englishtown, Atco, and Maple Grove Raceway in Reading area.
You know what my
Englishtown
Nova
in New
did?
Jersey and Atco in Atco, New Jersey.
Mac Daddy. My Nova would do stock 396 Muncie 4-speed rock crusher.
Yeah,
I did a 10.1 quarter mile.
that's fast.
That's stock.
Can I tell you what my father used to do on Saturday morning when I was like 4 years old?
I'm trying to show respect to your channel, Larry, and I'm smoking, so I'm gonna turn the camera off.
You'll like this one. When I was 4 years old, my dad and my uncle would walk into Reedman Motors because they had the parts counter open on Saturday morning. They would buy a 350 short block, take it across the street to Langhorne Speedway, one of the original NASCAR tracks, which was a dirt track, a dirt oval in Langhorne, PA. And my dad and my uncle would put the heads and put the intake manifold and put the motor in the car so they could race in the evening.
Really?
Yes.
How many wrenches? Do you turn wrenches, Mac Daddy?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
But I don't do a lot of serious
Well, I'm gonna give
breakdown
you a
modes
close
and
up of
transmission.
this finger right here.
What?
427 block. Almost took the tip of my finger off.
Oh. See, I never did the
My
I
passion
never
is
did a lot of
building
motor
motors.
breakdown. I had people that were just too good at that stuff. But I would install the motors and transmissions and lay them in, into the car.
Out of respect for Mr. Larry, I miss my
Um,
profession, Larry. I do.
I had a
I miss.
69 LTD with a 390 big block. The front seat you could put back so far. I'm 6'3", and I could barely touch the steering wheel.
Imagine that, Larry.
Can't do that today.
Chime in, Larry.
Oh, I miss the Navy. I wish I could stay in and did 20.
He misses the Navy. He didn't want to talk about engines. Hey,
You said you missed your career. I'm just telling you what I miss.
One of
I
my
miss
best
my
friends
I
was,
miss my
was a
career too,
master
Larry.
chief
I
in the
do.
Navy.
I do. Believe me, I do.
I believe he
You
was
know,
an E12.
you know my passion, Larry. You know that.
Well, like I said, I mean, you take the military. I was never closer to the people, anybody, than the people I served with.
They're my family.
You know, I mean, your shipmates. Because
My family.
it would be
He's
your
right,
teammates
Matt
for
Daddy.
you. It was
He
teammates,
is.
shipmates for me. The guys I ran with, the guys that we'd go out drinking. If you got in a fight, they had your back. Robert
Larry,
Bennett said,
Larry,
Robert
Larry,
Bennett now said smoking lamp is lit. It's okay.
Larry, you gonna make me do it.
Yeah. But like I said, though, I did over
You-
6 years. I did almost 7 years in the Navy.
You're my brother. You know that. You know, always I have your back.
But like I said, I looking back, I'm glad I got out
Now-
only because my
Now-
dad died less than 2 years after I got out.
Mike Daddy,
But I
I
missed
want to
him.
ask Larry something, and I know he can answer it. What are the 4 biggest girls, the grand girls?
I don't know if I can answer that. What do you mean the 4 biggest girls?
Iowa class.
You're talking about the
or cruiser
ships.
destroyers.
No, the battleships. You're talking about if
The New Jersey's one of them.
you got the Mighty Mo, you got
Missouri,
What about the New Jersey?
New Jersey,
the
Yeah,
Iowa.
see, I got one. I'm good. Tell me I ain't good.
Iowa. What's
Yeah, Iowa.
what's the 4th one?
I want to say the Texas.
I don't think it's the Texas.
Nope.
Huh?
There were 4 Iowa class battleships.
Yeah,
One was
like I
sunk
said,
at
the
Midway.
Iowa, the Missouri,
There we go.
They served in 4
Jersey and,
campaigns.
Can I tell you something about my uncle during the war? My uncle went all through World War II. And he was in the Navy. You'll love that. He was famous for shooting craps.
Mm.
My uncle paid off his mother's house, bought several cars, and took care of the whole family on his winnings. The guys used to carry him drunk to the crap games, but he'd come home drunk and they'd grab him, take him out of his bunk, dress him, and take him, sober him up to go shoot craps. He was so famous for winning them money. And my uncle was like a
Tennessee,
legend
Larry.
among
Huh?
his guys.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, I was thinking Oklahoma, but I knew that wasn't right.
Can I tell you how I knew the battleship New
BB
Jersey?
61, BB 62, BB 63, BB 64.
Robert
Can I tell you
Mendenhall
how I
told
knew
us
the
to
battleship
get
New Jersey?
Did you
Because
hear me,
it
Robert?
sits at the Camden
Now,
waterfront.
do you know where they're all ported at right now? They're not
Well,
destroyed. They didn't scrap
Well,
them.
the
They're
Mighty
Camden
floating
Mo,
waterfront
museum.
has the New Jersey. That's how I knew about it.
like I said, the Mighty Mo, the Missouri is in Hawaii,
Facing what?
the Arizona.
Facing the Arizona in respect.
But I've been on the Missouri.
I've been on the New Jersey.
Missouri was the last one they built, and she was the baddest one they built.
Yeah. But like I said, I was on the Missouri when she was in Washington State, right outside. I want to say it was right outside of Bremerton, where she was on the Sound.
I love to
And,
see how they used to load the
Now you
shoals
see
and
how,
food.
now you
with
see
the
Mac
powder
Daddy,
bag.
the way me and him talk, we call them girls,
Oh,
because that's what they are.
yeah.
But see, I come
Your
from a
ship's a
neighborhood
lady.
where they build a lot of Navy ships. The Philadelphia region, right at the Philadelphia
Well,
Navy
yeah.
Yard.
Well, the shipyards are there too.
Yeah.
And here's the other one. Before the
Do you know
Philadelphia
where the
Navy
USS
Yard, the
Constellation was
Philadelphia
built?
Airport was Hog Island. That's what
Do
they
you
named
know?
the
Do you
Hoagie
know where
Airport.
the USS Constitution was built?
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
You know where she's at?
I have no clue where she's at now.
Philadelphia.
No, the Constitution's not in Philadelphia. Try Boston.
Isn't she in Baltimore or something?
No, she's in Boston.
Wait a
Is
minute.
she?
I got a trivia one for you.
The
You ever
Constitution.
watch
Old Ironside,
in
right?
Boston. The Constellation is in Baltimore,
Okay, the Constitution is in
Boston.
what's the
Boston.
one in Philadelphia then?
Old Ironside, right?
Old Ironside's in Boston.
What's the one in
If you go to my
Philadelphia at
channel,
the
you will see
waterfront?
a video on the USS Constitution. I was on
The,
her last year.
the Constellation, Mac Daddy, was the Constitution's sister ship.
Yeah, and
I got one for you.
Now she might have been moved, but when I was in Baltimore, she was in Baltimore.
Have you ever
I
watched
don't
the
know.
movie?
Now, do you see how Navy men referred to the ships as girls?
Sure.
Oh,
Have you ever watched the movie Godfather 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the ship in the New York harbor called the Moshelu. Where is the Moshelu?
I have no clue, bro.
It's on the waterfront of Philadelphia. It's a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. Cool.
They have Philadelphia also has one of the fastest cruise ships
Really?
sitting on Delaware Avenue at the docks. They don't want to cut it up and scrap it. Nobody wants the damn thing, and it's just sitting there because it came along too late, right before aviation took off for transporting everybody.
I gotta say something. Hold on, guys. I gotta say something to Robert Minden now. So you
What's that?
use as Kitty Hawk, the Shitty Kitty. I almost got stationed on the Shitty Kitty, and it's my mistake that I didn't. I was given
The Shitty Kitty.
That's what we called it, the Shitty Kitty.
Yeah, I know. She
I had
was
another friend
an old one,
I had a
man.
friend that was stationed on her, but I didn't know him at the time. He's younger than me, so he was on there after I got out. But I had a choice between two ships, the Kitty Hawk and the Frederick. And I thought, an aircraft carrier spends a lot of time out to sea. And I thought, no, I don't want to go on an aircraft carrier. That was my mistake. I should have.
Well, the Kitty Hawk was a small one, Larry.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, though, she still spends a lot of time out at sea. You got to remember, this is back in the 70s. This is before the biggest ones came out. And so I picked the Frederick. And the guy that invented the term rock and roll watched a LST tied up to the pier on a calm day, because that sucker does nothing but rock and roll. She's a flat bottom ship. All right, she's flat bottom, and the reason why she's flat bottom, she intentionally runs herself aground.
Yeah, that's what it was designed for.
Yeah, and her front end opens up, the ramp goes off, and all the Marines go running off the front with their Jeeps and stuff like that, and the back end drops. And all their aqueducts, which is the ones that go on the ocean and land, go off. They bop under the water, pop back up, and then they drive around the ship and go on land. Well, that is a very rough riding ship.
Mac Daddy dropped off on us.
Yeah,
now I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, but anyway,
my internet is bad. I had a lightning stick.
like I said, she was a rough rider.
You know why they designed? Why they designed it that way, Mac Daddy?
Why?
Tell them, Larry.
The flat bottom, so they could run themselves aground and
so they could run more shallow.
Yeah.
No, but you run yourself aground. What you do is you drop your anchor as you're heading towards the beach full speed,
and ground the ship.
And then you ground yourself. You are beached.
Move
fast. High tide, you can pull yourself out with the anchor.
But what happens is the front end opens up, a ramp goes off, the Marines drive their Jeeps off, and troops will walk off as well. And then the back end, while you're still out, drops, and they have these what they call aqueducts.
Right.
It's a land-ocean vehicle that carries a bunch of Marines. and they'll go under the water when they go off the ship. They drop, they sink under, then pop back up. And I know a Marine that rode these things. He said it would fill up with smoke, and when it popped back up, the smoke would clear, and then they would drive ashore.
Yeah.
And we spent 27 days out at sea, off the coast of San Diego, doing nothing but playing war games. With the USS Tarawa, when she was commissioned.
You know what I've been on that's cool? One of the troop carriers from World War II.
You saw that, Larry, right?
Yeah. But
Listen,
another thing about it, when I was out to, like I said, we was off the coast of San Diego.
if I'm correct, Larry, you were part of the LSTs, right?
Yeah. I was Gator.
You know what LSTs are, Mac Daddy?
Landing ship tanks.
No, I don't.
Tell them, Larry.
Like I said, landing ship tanks, LST.
Yeah. It's getting the troops on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I've been on one of the troop carriers.
It's meant to roll in, get everything and everybody off, and go.
You take your anchor and rinse yourself back off the beach.
A really good friend of mine was on D-Day Beach Day 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know how
and
many,
I asked him a serious war question. How did you get off of D-Day Beach? He said, "You want to know the truth?" He said, I laid there like I was dead for most of the time and would roll over and shoot and snipe at night until he could finally get up and move.
Like I said, though, now an LST.
He was in the Battle of the Bulge too.
It was meant to be disposable, Larry.
Oh yeah, you know how many landings LST was expected to make?
One.
Oh, what
do
you want me to give you an example?
I'm just saying, no. You're supposed to make it.
Let's talk about D. Let's talk about D-Day. Let's talk about D-Day.
There's a lot of guys.
All the odds were against him.
Oh yeah, the weather was so bad. They finally said either drop us all, we're all sick, or take us back.
Eisenhower had to make a decision. It was then or there. It had to happen.
They had to go then, or they had to wait another month.
And he said it needs to happen now. We got a break in the weather. It needs to happen now.
Like
I got an interesting story of the Battle of the Bulge told to me by somebody who was there.
Listen. Yeah, well, you ain't got to tell me nothing about the 82nd and 101st Airborne. They earned their stripes.
This guy from the Battle of the Bulge said he was put up on a ridge, him and his troop, he was a sergeant, and they told him just keep shooting at this spot in this forest area. And for a week they sat there shooting bullets, and we just kept pushing them into the woods. And
there was no pushing. There was no pushing.
No what?
You know how many of the 82nd and the 101st had died in the Battle of the Bulge?
I have no idea.
No supplies coming in, no nothing. They held the line. That's why they're a highly decorated military outfit.
He had a Bronze Star.
Am I correct?
Oh,
Larry?
Yeah. But
they held their own. They had no food, they had no ammunition, but they held their ground.
And they were stood there for a week shooting into the forest. And when they went through the forest after shooting into it for a week, they said there was just Germans dead everywhere.
No, Patton finally showed up and gave him relief. Did he not? If my history is correct, Larry, right?
Well,
he also was in the battle.
I can't remember I can't remember if he was general or not, but the guy that was in charge of them.
He was in the Battle of the Ardennes Forest.
And he said his answer was
nuts. It was Patton. Patton is the one that came in and finally broke the line.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, they're at the one place, and they were surrounded. and the
They
Germans
they
came
were
up with a white
surrounded,
flag.
Larry. They were surrounded for almost 8 months.
Yeah.
They had no food. They were freezing. They were in foxholes.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Germans asked him to surrender, and the guy just said nuts.
Nuts.
And when Patton
That's
heard that,
exactly what he told them. Nuts. He
when
wasn't
Patton
going
heard
to
that, he says,
surrender.
I need that man's speechwriter.
Well,
Now, did you know Patton believed he was reincarnated, and every time he was reincarnated, he was a warrior
But-
or a soldier?
But to be all honest, Larry, I actually believe that.
It's possible. I'm just saying, no, that's what he
He was
believed.
the true warrior. He was. His men hated him, but they fought for him, and they won.
Well, wasn't he the one they called Old Bloods and Glory? Glory?
Yep.
Our blood, his glory. Old guts and glory, or something like that. And our guts and his
Well,
glory.
he put a gun to one of his soldiers' head in a hospital. He said, "You're not wounded. You don't deserve to be here." He pulled his pistol out and was ready to shoot him. Eisenhower made him publicly apologize to that soldier.
Yeah.
wow. I got one for you though. My friend who was on D-Day Beach Day 3, Battle of the Ardennes, Battle of the Bulge. I seen his, like, he used to go to the VFW after he came home and everything. I seen they used to put these campaign medals on your cane. His cane had like half full of campaign medals because he went all the way through Europe. That was amazing. They ain't going to be too many more warriors like them guys.
Larry,
Go ahead.
you ever seen the movie Big Red One?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
I'll think, what's his name? Shit. What is that actor's name? I know that Mark Hamill was in it too.
I don't remember.
Robert
It's been so
Carradine.
long since I've seen it.
But it is about the 1st Division Army.
Yeah.
Big Red One. Been through every campaign, every war we've ever been in.
I got a friend that was in the Iraq War. He did like 4 tours of duty through that. And when I go home and see him, I drink with him. And when he gets drunk, let me tell you, I feel safe. Tommy O'Malley.
Yeah, I got cousins that served in
bullet holes all over him.
It had a big Irish name.
He was shot 4 times. And I got to tell you, he's not a big guy, but when I go home and drink, I'll be sitting there drinking with him at the bar. He's buying me drinks. I'm buying him drinks. He's slapping me on the back. We're the best of friends. And somebody said something to me in the bar one day. And he's like, yeah, I'll go over and kick the shit out of him if you want. I'm like, Tommy, it's okay.
Now, Robert,
quite heavily intoxicated.
What is a maverick in the military?
What's that?
What is a maverick in the military?
Really?
What is a maverick?
It's cavalry, no?
It's a person that served in more than one branch.
Oh, okay.
I got a cousin who was Air Force.
Correct.
And then he went.
Someone that served in 1 or 2 or 3 different branches of service.
But anyway, my cousin, he was in the Air Force, got out, decided to join the Marine Corps, and he says, I had to go through boot camp again. Now, see, if he'd have gone the other direction, he wouldn't have had to gone through boot camp again.
True.
And I served with a guy who was Army that joined after he got out, went back in the Navy.
You know what?
The reason why he went in the Navy was the Navy offered him a higher pay grade than what the Army was
and higher rank.
Well, the Navy's the most powerful branch of the military, aren't they?
No.
They control the Marines. They control the Army.
No, they don't control the Army. No, Marine Corps
Stop. Time out. Listen. We all serve. We all fight together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But then
the Marines don't like and I'm gonna say this, and any Marines out there, no disrespect. You guys are part of the Navy, if you like it or
Yeah, they
not.
are. You know how you win that argument with them?
Yeah, what's their name? Marine.
No.
Listen, Larry.
You know how you win that argument with a Marine? That they're
Larry,
part of the Navy?
And who's your corpsman? The Navy guys.
Yeah,
Larry,
but no, that's not how you win it. How you win it is
Larry,
who signs your paycheck.
Larry,
Department of Navy.
Secretary of the Navy signs.
That's right. His paycheck comes from the Navy.
I don't know all
I
this.
choked out.
I'm not a
I
military
choked
guy.
out. I choked out a gunny in San Diego
Yeah.
as he wanted to try me.
But can I tell you what I did while you guys were all serving? I made
What?
parts for the military machine. I worked at a tool and die shop, and I made tank parts and satellite parts. And
You know what my
I
dad
made
did?
I made
You know-
control surfaces for the B-2 bomber out of
God bless you,
Vestel
brother.
plastic.
You know what my dad did during World War II? He did not serve. But you know what he did? He drove bombs around the country from one place that they made them to whatever base needed them.
Larry,
So, I mean, he served that way.
Well,
Larry.
you know, I
Someone
live
had
in
to transport those
Johnstown.
bombs.
I live in
Larry.
Johnstown area now. You know what we do here every Thursday?
Larry,
We
What's
ship.
that, Robert?
do we all serve one purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fought for one purpose, right?
Well, like I said,
Doesn't matter if it's Army, Navy, Air Force, or
Johnstown,
Marines.
where I live now, they make all the military hardware, a lot of it, and a lot of the stuff that they ship to the Ukraine.
well,
We make the
Lord
Javelin
help.
missiles here. We make Stryker vehicles here. They make all kinds of
there's
military.
weapons for the Navy made in Indiana. It's a place called Crane.
Mac Daddy, let me tell you something. As a SEAL, we had all the best toys way before you saw it.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what my favorite Navy?
We
SEAL
had
takedown
satellite
tool is?
communication. We had the best weapons. We had everything way before
Whoops.
John Q. Public had it.
Now, you know the one, like I said, when I've told you we were practicing the war games with the Tarawa off the coast of San Diego. One of my
Yeah.
favorite parts is while we were out there, the SEALs were practicing, and they were all day. They were practicing the high speed pickup.
Were we
You know,
impressive?
the horse collar, they'd go flying down and they catch the SEAL with the horse collar and flip him into the boat. And if they missed him, they kept going, and then they go back and pick him up. And that was kind of that. When they got done practicing that, they took a break.
Were
That's
we
what
impressed?
my ship-
Were we
This fellow on my
impressed?
ship climbed up the cargo netting and had lunch on our ship. Then went back out and practiced some more. So that was fun to watch. But like I said, it's 27 days off the coast of San Diego, seeing the lights every night, and it was not
Larry?
that way. Yeah,
Larry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I offend Mac Daddy?
No, he's having trouble with his internet.
All
He's
right.
trying to
Well,
come back up right now, but it's having a hard time bringing his picture.
I'm
up.
not tooting my own horn.
No.
But the SEALs get the best toys.
Well, I'd say the SEALs and all the special forces.
Spec
the
war,
toys.
Larry. Spec war is what it is. You know what that means.
Yeah, special forces. That's the
Well-
ones that go in and the Green Beret, the Rangers, the SEALs.
We cleaned it up.
Like I said, the special forces.
We do the job that no one else can do.
But like I said, I was part of
Larry,
the
you know what?
the Marines around.
You know why I love you, brother? Because you're for real.
Yeah.
You're not like a lot of these people on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're for real. You are what you are.
Oh yeah, Mac Daddy's still can't come back up. Like I said, he's having trouble with his internet.
Come on back up, Mac Daddy.
Well,
I
he
like
tried-
Mac
he tried
Daddy.
it
Mac
just-
Daddy's a good guy.
Yeah, like I said, he tried, but his internet's not wanting to cooperate.
Where's Jerry at?
He was up earlier. Jerry doesn't
Was
stay.
it?
His Panay wanted his girl in the Philippines wanted to talk.
Oh, okay. So he's
he was
talking
up
to his
earlier, and then when
he's talking to his Asawa.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's his Asawa or just a good friend. I know it's a Panay that he's really close with. But I
Well,
don't know.
future Asawa.
I think it is, but he doesn't claim it's his Asawa. He says it's his Panay.
You know what, Larry? I'm looking at you, brother. You
Yeah.
look like you lost weight.
Well, I've lost weight since I moved down here. Yeah.
How much weight you lost?
Since I moved down here, or total?
Really?
Yeah, total. Which one you want?
Hmm.
Total's about 90 pounds. About 40 pounds since I moved down here.
Larry, I'm battling with that. You know, after I had knee surgery and all that, I've gained weight because I was recovering. I wasn't moving around, so I got up around 192 pounds, and I don't like being that weight.
Oh, I wish I was 192.
I'm trying to get back down around 170, around there.
Mac Daddy's trying. He's got his camera back up.
Come on up, Mac Daddy.
Yeah,
Boy, you
I
tried
got
to come up
dropped
earlier
off
and
the
you just kept
internet
giving me
again.
the white circle of death.
I'm sorry.
Well, no. I mean, when you tried to come up earlier, all I was getting was the white circle.
Yeah, I
tried to
know.
put you into the chat, but
Hey, Mac Daddy.
Yo.
If I offended you, I apologize.
No,
I'm
you
just
didn't
speaking.
offend
I'm
me.
just speaking the truth.
No, you are, and I don't argue any of that. I'm a humanitarian, and I have a thing for people that no children are involved in war. That's all I can say. They only suffer from it. I'll leave it at that.
You know what that means, right?
technical foul.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're not talking basketball. Football. Timeout.
Larry.
I need to get a gaming desktop that you can like sit at the big game.
What's that mean?
Not special forces. You know what that is? Turn 2. Get
That's
to work.
right. Yeah, I do. I know what that means.
I was going to tell you my favorite.
You know what this is?
We're talking
You know what
to be
this is?
silent, Mac Daddy. You know.
You know what this is?
Yeah.
It's a captain.
My favorite.
You're signaling the captain's coming. So straighten up.
My favorite Navy SEAL takedown tool is the tomahawk.
But I will say this.
What?
All right. Let's give honor and respect.
Always.
Memorial Day is coming up.
Yeah.
I've always known enough people.
And the one thing that to me, that was the ultimate insult to America was the Arizona being sunk.
Yeah. Now, I've been to Hawaii. Now,
They should have known that they were
stationed
coming.
in Hawaii. But I never did go to the Arizona. I was only there for a day. Well, 2 days. I only had one night.
Broke her in half, Larry. Broke her in half. Hit the magazine.
Yeah. But it's just so hard to get in line and get on that thing. So if I ever go there for vacation, then I'd be there for more than a couple of days. I'd have to go see it.
Well, you have to. You have to go
Like I said, I've been
show
on the
respect
Missouri.
to the sailors.
I've been on the Missouri, and she set up for
Not just sailors. The Army and the Marines that died there too.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying
I
the
like how
Missouri. You go into Missouri, they have a plaque where the peace treaties were signed. And
My daddy served on the Missouri when the Japanese surrendered.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no, they got pictures and they got signs and they got you can have this one thing you can push. They got a recording you can listen to.
Sure.
Now, when I was on it, you couldn't go below decks.
You might have to educate me here, Larry. I think in the Philippines, they actually have MacArthur statue when he's coming back on the beach.
It's in Leyte.
Leyte, yeah.
Yeah, it's in Leyte. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the city, or the city right. It could be, but it's either like Taglabon or Tagbalan or.
Well, I know, but
It's on
Bataan was
it's on the opposite side.
one of the last battles we had that the Japanese pushed us out.
Yeah, but anyway, this is where he comes back. They got these statues with him.
But they
with
got a
other guys.
statue with him walking up the beach.
Well, they got it. It's actually on the beach, and they got the water like he's walking up.
Yeah.
The beach is right behind him. It's right where you landed.
Well, he always said, "I shall returning." He did.
But they got the bronze statue with him. They got the water around him, and there's some other people walking up with him.
I was to the MacArthur Museum in Virginia one time.
Well, you know, Sam McGill beer.
Imagine that.
Painted label, baby. Painted label. Painted label. But my understanding, MacArthur was involved with that as well. I don't mean he somehow either he helped set it up to where they were doing it or something. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. But that's what I heard, that he had something to do with that. Maybe getting them set up so they could do it. But Sam McGill painted label, and I do say painted label because they also had one that was a regular pill-on label. And my understanding, they were a little different. Now they got Sam McGill Light. They didn't have that back when I was overseas. But Sam McGill painted label is my beer of choice in the Philippines. And a lot of guys I knew would buy a case of Sam McGill, and when they got done with the painted label, they'd have all 24 bottles, the tops cut off, all right? And then they'd smooth around so you could use them as glasses. And they take 12 of them, they take the top, and they would be glued to the bottom. So they'd be like wine goblets. And the other 12 would be like glasses for mixed drinks or pour beer in. And they were souvenirs. And they would take them back home. And you could take it to a guy that would do that for you. So you could take your own case of beer that you drank, take it in, and pay them, then they would fix that up for you. And that was a
I used to have the bottle cutter to do that. It's a glass cutter on a rod that they just go around the bottle, and then you tap out the bottle, tap.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they would make sure there was they sanded it, smoothed it out so there was no sharp edges. Because you got to remember, this back in the 70s, so it was a little more work than today, but it was still, like you said, a bottle cutter, a glass cutter. And then they would glue the bottom, like I said, the top.
My brother had it in the 70s. We used to do wine bottles and stuff.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, though, it was a little more work than what it would be today.
Today it's actually harder because the glass beer bottles have a high content of plastic.
Oh, does it? Well, I'm just saying the tools would be a little easier today if they had the right same tools back then.
As I was saying earlier, you guys were at war and everything. I used to make parts for B-2 stealth bombers.
Yeah. Well, see, now, when you were making parts, I wasn't at war.
Well, I was supporting the war effort, though. Let me tell you.
Well, I'm just saying, though, because when you were making parts, Vietnam was already over, I believe, and I was in during Nam.
Yeah, I made. It's called Vespel. It's a high temperature plastic, very high temperature plastic. You can't melt the stuff like.
Like I said, the Nam ended while I was in, and the next war didn't start till after I got out.
It's made by DuPont, this plastic, and we used to machine it.
It was going on when I joined.
Magnetic locators in it.
Matter of fact, my first Westpac, I was in Yokosuka, Japan, with orders to Vietnam, and they canceled my orders because the peace talks were going on, and my ship wouldn't have replaced another ship of its same kind. And during peace talks, you maintain the same action or you step it down. And they were afraid, even though we were non-combat, they were afraid by sending us there. They might have been stepping up the war action. Go ahead.
Larry, I'm gonna show you what was on my flak jacket.
All right, I'm looking. Wait. The Punisher, yeah. But like I said,
SEAL Team 6.
Like I said, though, Nam ended in 75.
Well,
I was making parts in the 80s.
Yeah, like I said, that's
Early
when
80s.
I went in
Mac
73,
Daddy,
but
Mac
not in
Daddy,
78.
Mac Daddy, you're saying me. You're very near to my age.
Yes.
You were making the shit. I was out there using it.
Yeah, you were supporting his war effort. My war effort. I'm not saying you didn't support us, but you didn't do the
Oh.
the equipment
Actual
for it.
footwork.
I made firing pins for the howitzer guns, the field cannons. The artillery
I'm sorry,
cannons.
Larry. I'm sorry.
I made like all kinds of little parts too, like firing pin gauges we made. Look like a big matchstick. And a lot of the blueprints that we worked on for satellites and stuff were jig bore and jig grinding. They were within a millionth of an inch.
I
And,
apologize, Larry.
That's all right, Robert.
the other thing with all those parts that we made, a lot of the prints had top secret stamps on them. I couldn't even. I could have went to jail if I took one of them prints home with me or something.
Well, like I said,
I can go to prison for telling you the things that I've done.
Sure. But I want you to know though that
Larry understands that I can't talk. I'm sorry.
the parts I used to make were for classified stuff. Fairchild Satellite out in New York was a big one that we made.
I apologize, Larry. I'm getting emotional now.
that's all right. We're going to be ending here pretty soon. It's been 3 hours.
Yeah,
God
you've had a long live stream here, brother.
Yeah, usually I don't go this long.
But I always try to come here and try to support you, brother. I do.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. But
Mac Daddy, I apologize.
Well, no need. No need. A lot of people don't understand me.
I've seen and done a lot of things.
he's talking about getting emotional there, Mac Daddy.
I know.
Sorry, I'm just flashing back.
Yeah.
Well, I deal with that too. Like my friend who I drink with, Tommy. He's dealing with a lot. Or a friend of mine from Vietnam, Richard Conover, over the years.
Yeah.
Larry,
Places you've been, the things you guys had to
as
do.
a Navy brother, I apologize to you.
That's all right. That's all right. That's understandable, man. Don't worry.
I'm not ashamed of my service.
Nope.
No, nor should you
But
be.
there's times that I hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I said, I was lucky enough that my orders to Nam were canceled. Now, my older brother, he was there.
But I will say this. The good Lord saw in his grace that I should still be here.
Yeah.
And I take pride that I saved some lives.
You should take pride in it.
Yes.
I didn't earn the rank of a senior chief. I worked hard for that. I tried to keep my men alive, and I tried my hardest.
That's all you can do. All right, hey.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Larry.
That's all right. That's all right. Like I said, this is a long live stream for me, and so I'm going to go ahead and end this one, everybody. I want to remind everybody, remember to be
Larry,
kind.
Larry, can I call you on
Yeah.
Facebook after this?
You can call me.
All right.
But everybody, I just want to go ahead and end this one. Remember to be kind to each other. Take care
Robert,
of yourself. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus,
Mac Daddy, I apologize. I do.
No, you're cool. Trust me, I carry baggage from other things. I was raised in the streets, Robert, and I don't talk about it.
Sure.
I've been on my own since I was 12.
Larry,
Yeah.
this has been a great live stream. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm glad you came.
Love you, brother. You know that.
All right. Love you, man. Take care.
And I'm glad I'm back.
Remember, next week, same time, I'll be back. We got a lot of people dropped off because the subjects we got on to, they weren't that interested in, which I don't blame them. But we talk about what we talk about.
Well,
All right, hey,
next
Mac.
week I want to talk about my upcoming trip to the Philippines.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. All right.
Yes.
I think they'll find that more interesting. But you know,
Well,
we got off on what we got off on.
I need people to help me learn about the Philippines. I've never been.
All right. We'll get some people to help you. So
And that's what we're here about. So,
oh yeah. All right, Mac Daddy, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down.
you have a good one.
You
Nice.
too, man.
nice
Talk to you
hanging
later.
out.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.